6 minutes, but I guess we'll have to look at it. All right, so I'm going to pull up. Hello. Yeah.
There we go. So it's XKCD, xkcd.com.
Gentlemen, have a great evening.
You as well.
Have a great weekend. I'll see you Tuesday.
Enjoy.
Next time you see me, I'll be a husband.
Yep.
Congrats.
Sorry,
buddy.
That's kind of the general reaction I've been getting.
Yeah.
/2030.
2030. Dismiss. Yeah, I remember this now. Yep. If you rely on us, everyone will die.
The desert wiggle.
Wear gloves.
But it's so true.
Oh, absolutely. It's terrifying. All right. So we're still waiting for people, right?
Well, there's a few more people that I expected to show up.
Good. Well, we'll give it a moment.
Okay.
Pull up. Let's see. What?
Hmm?
That's weird. My search's apparently going bad. Oh, it's time to test this though. Shoot.
Test what?
34 different things I didn't do right. Mildly infuriating.
Ah.
But I haven't downloaded it. Because I didn't come prepared.
Just the version does a thing.
I'm going to find out.
We'll
by
find out in
watching.
20 seconds. I bet that it probably isn't. I don't think you uploaded that one to the server, did you?
You were trying to, but
I don't
Git
remember.
isn't set up.
Well, this isn't really
This
done
isn't-
just through Git.
He was trying.
This is now.
Oh, is it? Okay. Hey!
Yeah, it is.
Sweet.
You must have got Git set up after I left.
Yeah, when we got this box replaced with one that sucks less, but not zero, it got. So what I was going to do is pull up my infuriating, but I don't think I have it. Do I have my projects directory even? Probably not. Documents. Nope. Capital letters, because it matters on Windows. And I don't have. Let me see if I can throw it up on a gist quick and pull it down. Hello, sir.
The clock.
What am I trying to do? Oh, yeah.
Christian,
Yeah.
isn't there a document in IT Glue that someone can walk through to set a device in maintenance mode?
I don't know. I think there is. Let me find it.
Kind of take people asking how to do it. You have the ability to do it.
Yeah. I usually just type it up.
Trying to get I need the projects pulled up over here, and I'm just trying to put it into a GitHub gist. Because that's the best way I can do it, apparently. Oh, you know what, though? I lie. We have a GitHub repo for it. GitHub.com/code after darkness.
Dark S. You need the N.
Send me the link.
Oh, dark S. Modeling generating.
Just send it to that chat and not broadcast.
Yep.
Yeah. Super janky. Why not?
When do you get a new computer?
Like beginning of this week. And then I failed to get it ready at all. I hadn't even logged into it. Sorry. Let's go to Documents, Projects, New Folder. Look at that. It runs reasonably well.
Probably set the
Why is it-
HTML background color to black, but whatever.
What? It is black. What am I missing?
So whenever you actually make it, it's not black. So bring it down from full screen, hit F5, and full screen it again.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
There's a big F at the bottom.
Yeah, because the canvas is black, but well, that's a different problem. How come it's going so slow?
Because it's a big screen. We have it advanced by 1 pixel per tick.
Oh,
Or is it 2? It's 1 or 2.
one.
You have turbo mode too, isn't it? T turbo.
That makes it less precise though. Like we could totally fix that.
Anyhow. Alright, well, stream is started. I just wanted to check, because this last time we tried to stream this, that thing jagged around because it couldn't support both streaming and rendering this canvas, because that computer was a file. So that's fun. What we wanted to do today, though, what is it called, test, is see if we can make this do a thing where we get a zippy outer bit that basically every time it reaches the top, either when it reaches the top or when it reaches the position of the next second, we want to do a contact. I'm thinking that they should contact the second.
That would make it more challenging. Let's try starting with it at the top.
At the top?
And then we can just add an offset for whatever second it's going to.
Okay. Let me see if I can do. I don't have an SSH key. Never mind. I'm gonna have to just do the janky thing.
What were we trying to do?
Hold down.
We're going to make some changes to the clock.
I got that.
Code After Darkness.
Yeah, because Code After Dark was taken.
Oh, okay.
And I tried to grab it, and they said, no, it's in use. But only on private repos. So, not going to be that cool. We don't have a Git installed, so I'm going to have to just download the zip. Save.
Code After Darkness would be cool if we could have some beer here. There's a beer
I don't
called
think there's a
Darkness.
specific reason why we can't.
There's no reason why we can't.
We just
It hasn't
don't.
been disallowed.
I think we did it once because there was beer left over from like a company party or something that was in the fridge.
There's
and-
still beer in there from the game night. I don't know whose it is, but it's in there.
Is there any Modelo Negra left?
Nope, I think our pizza's here.
No, I don't know. It's on the back counter by the vending machine. There's like 3 cases of it.
Does Brennan?
I'm
Alright,
not
fair enough.
taking somebody else's beer unless I know it's left in there for grabs.
Christian?
Yeah.
I like
Never
my
mind, I
job.
Okay.
Yep.
Why'd you get fired? I stole some beer.
I stole beer at work.
No, I don't want that.
So the first question is, why was there beer at work? The second question is, why did you steal it? But like,
Almost
your
The
coworker
answer
said
to
beer.
why was there beer at work is because I work in IT.
I mean, is there a workplace without alcohol at this point?
Lots of IT jobs have alcohol in the oven.
My roommate works in a wine shop.
Yeah, I left
Yeah.
some on my old job.
He just opens bottles and then pours them for customers to sample, and he has some on his own. So he literally gets paid mostly to drink all day. It's a good job.
Better than most.
At one point, I worked at Schroeder Milk. Got bought out now. But they had robots for like stacking the boxes of milk and whatnot.
Milk stacking robots.
Yeah. My job was to hit the reset button if the robot screwed up and dropped a box. That was my job. Hit the reset button if the robot drops a box.
All the milk you could drink.
Yeah, pretty much. Ice cream. Well, okay. Hit the reset button if the robot drops it, and if somebody stupid walks into the cage and for some reason the robot doesn't stop itself via the safety measures, then hit the emergency stop button.
You played with these before?
Oh, what is that?
Bone conduction headphones.
Oh, weird. Very cool. They come in headphones or in sunglasses now.
So it's not making any noise by its.
It makes just a tiny bit, but most of it is coming through your, like, if you stick your fingers in your ears, you'll hear it better. Isn't that
That's
cool?
cool. How much were those?
A bit much. You guys want to try them? Amazon has them for $160.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It-
A bit much.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that sounds for music.
It doesn't have good bass. You might expect that, but it's really good for voice.
They all right for music?
Yeah. You can enjoy the music. Like, it's hard to enjoy the music as much unless you can, like, block out everything else. So, like, they're not as good as noise canceling headphones can ever be because they let all the other sound right through.
Yeah.
They also came with, like, little, you know, those little foam earplugs, so you can, like, just wear, like, safety earplugs and also wear these and hear the music in loud environments.
This would be good for the range.
Yeah, well, you can just get shooting muffs that have
Yeah.
electronic amplification in them.
Oh,
Cheaper though.
I happened to catch this at midnight.
Mhm.
It doesn't work.
The hours don't work, or the minutes don't work.
The whole thing freezes. Like stops working completely.
That's lame.
Yep.
I wonder why it does that.
Don't know. I didn't try to debug it,
Don't know why it would do that.
and I didn't. Yeah. Need like
It should see if it does it at noon also.
and yeah.
So if it does it at midnight, it might also do it at noon.
Okay. What are we trying to achieve here? Okay. What do we want? Do we want like a dot, just to serve a square?
Yeah, we'll start with a dot.
A dot. Let's draw a dot. More dots. Oh God.
I love that function name so much.
That's the name it makes. Or the name you decided it makes.
Yeah.
Naming things is hard.
Okay, I gotta fucking focus here. What are we trying to achieve? The dot drawing on like the 12 o'clock position just on the outside of the track.
Mhm.
Okay. Draw. We got like a draw slice. There's a clock, isn't there? Yeah, clock. Clock. And we got a bunch of draw slice, so I can throw this like above the circle. Where's the circle? Down here? Yeah.
Well, you probably want to just copy the AM PM circle first and just put it there.
This guy?
Is that it?
No. Well, there's
We
an
didn't comment it very well, did we?
This outside rim, I think, is what we want. I think it's that. Or are you talking about the dot for the circle?
The AM PM dot in the middle.
Phil, this guy.
We can probably just copy that and just move its location to where we want it to be.
Yeah, but we also need to change its size.
I mean, just getting it to the right location is a good start.
Location. There's like a
Thank you.
new object class. That's what this is. Okay.
So Isaac, how much coding experience do you have?
Not much.
None? Okay. You know any JavaScript at all?
No, not really.
Okay. No? Shall we help him get caught up at first?
Yeah, let's do that.
So, insert mode.
Yeah, I was eating my own code. Let's do this. Inspect.
So we're doing this with JavaScript on just an HTML page.
So here's the actual HTML. I mean, let me show you.
HTML is very simple, but
There's not a lot.
yeah.
Most
What
of
there's
it's-
a canvas element, which is basically a pad that you can draw on with JavaScript. And almost everything that we're doing is being done in that canvas element that we made.
Okay.
So we just let JavaScript paint on it, and that's what the JavaScript that we've written so far is making.
Yeah, so Canvas allows you to use a set of primitives to create lines, arcs, fill a path. There's a few other primitives I can't think of. But using these really, really simple shapes and lines, you can kind of do whatever you want. You just have to assemble it yourself.
Sure.
And so what this code is doing, the page loads and like all this code loads up and it does this app.init. Well, do the other thing. That. So
That was me.
So what this is doing is it grabs our canvas using JavaScript. It's got a function here that allows you to grab the element. And that gives you this instance. Maybe it'd be wise for us to back up because I don't know if you don't have much coding experience. No, he's just trying to kill you.
I was gonna eat a piece of pizza and then, never mind.
Bad things almost happened.
Got it.
Oh, this is
Okay, guys.
You don't
Coding
have to feel
After
like
Dark
you have
is
to like run me
streaming
through the
now,
whole
I
thing
know.
either. I can do my own research at home if you guys aren't kind of just.
I want to get you oriented at least.
Sure.
So sometimes orientation is the hardest part, and just like where I start with JavaScript, you get a tutorial that doesn't teach you anything about like how you can play with it easily on your own.
Sure.
So usually the easiest thing to do is just to use
Isaac.
Cook.
You're the new field guy. Yeah. Kurt, do you know Harold Monstein?
Yep.
Yeah, he told me that.
Cool.
I went to IT ready with Harold.
Oh, all right.
Good guy.
Lana was in the same class as him too.
Yep.
Right? Yep.
Yeah, the first husband and wife group, whatever, right?
Yeah.
All right.
No, Harold?
Radio Shack.
Oh, really? Okay.
Radio Shack.
What am I doing now? All right. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna carry on with the modification, create the dot, and then I'll explain like some variable stuff. Alright, so here's the new stuff. So we're creating a new object class, position X is 505. I'm going to move it up slightly. Why does my cursor look like that?
You hit insert again.
Actually, I want that to be 505. My Y I want to be 50. Unlock, thank you, 50. I didn't do insert again. If you keep doing this, I'm just going to throw the computer out the
The
window.
keyboard is just trash.
Height, width, fill style. What in the hell is this thing that it's going to create? Red, green. This is orange. I don't know what.
Well, it'd be yellow.
Okay. Not creating anything.
What's the A in RGB?
Alpha, which is transparency. So 1 is fully opaque, 0 is fully transparent.
And it takes a float, so 0.5 would be half
Yeah.
opaque. Alright, I'm being bothered by this thing. What? So if it's PM, we're doing this. If it's not PM, it's AM, we're doing this. What are these objects? 2020. Oh, that's the orange thing that's underneath. I didn't do that. The gray thing under.
Oh, that's what I think. Every once in a while I see that yellow
Yeah.
thing.
Goodbye. So I don't think it's helpful. And it's only in the morning. Weird.
We never look at this thing in the morning, do we?
No.
It's code after dark, not code before light.
So what was it doing in the morning?
Yeah, you get like a
So
yellow
the dot in the
circle
middle goes away. It's supposed to go away and be black, but it would actually be yellow.
Alright, so I've got fill style, color, begin path. I need to do a move to, I think. Where's draw slice, fill. And then it's got a draw method, fill rect.
I haven't seen a move to or anything like that.
Am I hallucinating about move to?
Don't you just define an arc with its like center point and its height and width and what the radius is and what portion of the circle you want?
You might be right. Okay, so let's do this. Divide by 8 and divide by 8 and see where it ends up. Okay, it's not showing me anything.
Well, you're looking at the one that's on the web. You're not looking at the local
Oh,
copy.
for the love of. Yep.
Yep, there you go. Found it.
Things are happening.
Oh my god. Okay. That's terrific. So that is the X and Y position. And we want this at,
I want one of them to be at half, right?
yeah, width by 2, and then call this 40 or something for now.
That's probably fine where it is right now.
How many what?
It's probably fine where it was. Like, it's at a decent enough height. Yeah, it's a decent enough height.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then I need to know what the parameters for this thing are, because just staring at it ain't helping me. Mozilla Canvas Spark. X, Y, radius, start angle, end angle. Radius. So it's a function of the height, which we do want. No, we want a tiny little circle. Its position is going to be a function of.
Probably still want it to still be proportionate to the height because we'll be resizing it on different sizes of window, but almost everything that we're defining is like relative to the size of the window.
Mm-hmm. But what? Okay. We want it relative to the size of the window, but it's going to be dynamic based on where we're at the tick.
Yep.
Okay.
What are the parameters again? Or on the other?
X, Y, radius, start, end.
Okay.
Let's just do this.
Hey.
Nope. Not on a Mac. All right. So so I've got a dot. It's just in the wrong spot, and it's getting drawn over.
It's probably just in the wrong part of the code. It probably
Yeah. No,
just
I
let
know.
that run last.
Yeah. Need to comment this code better. All right. So our position is going to be, the X and Y are going to be a function of the second.
Well, a function of the millisecond if you wanted to go around
Yeah,
once
right.
per second.
You're right.
Oh,
I'm just
you're
trying
going to be unhappy because there's going to be sine and cosine involved.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
We've got that code somewhere. I figure I can copy and paste and then wonder why it doesn't work.
No, I know how to use sine and cosine.
I do too now. You've introduced me multiple times. Do we not have a sine and cosine? Maybe we don't. Okay. But what's sticking? What am I not satisfied with? The size of this thing? Size of this thing.
I gotta tell you, if you look on it on an iPhone,
Yep.
it doesn't fit. It's too large for the screen. Before last week,
Yeah.
I would bring it up on my iPhone and it would fit inside. But
Oh.
now you bring it up.
So we got so we're going like proportional
Outside
to
the
the
boundary.
height.
Makes sense.
Crap. Where?
So we need to take the lesser of the two.
Yep.
But all right. Good bug report. We'll have to fix that. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
It makes sense.
All
Easy
right.
fix.
So we've got it positioned roughly where we want to start, but then we want to modify our X and Y. So let's just do this. Let's. Is this the portion of the code that's going to be on every tick? Yeah, it's got to be on every tick, right?
Yeah.
Tick does draw. Draw does clock.
I don't think there's a sleep 1 second anywhere. So
No. I'm just making sure I know, like.
how often it's going to try to draw?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we want X position equal to something. Y position equal to something. And then I'm just going to replace these so I can reason about them better. height, right?
This one you have at 40.
Yeah. You liked it at 8.
Okay.
This is gonna be different and maybe better.
Not that much different.
How come? Not different at all.
Maybe the number just didn't change appreciably.
Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is alter our x and y based on
So first we need the number of milliseconds of the current time.
time is new date.
Do we not already have a date
We
variable somewhere? Okay,
Well, I think we're instantiating at multiple places.
that's efficient.
Yeah, I know. Can we pass that in as an argument? Could.
Or is it in global state somewhere?
No.
Because it's never going to be. Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
need it. We need it every tick.
Yeah. Well,
Have to draw.
T is there. T is new date time. Is that passed in? It's also in verb. Ah, that works.
Date.
Semicolon.
No. What?
You need to get rid of the semicolon, not
Oh.
that one. Okay, I guess that works.
By accident.
That wasn't what I meant, but
Yeah.
you got the right effect.
End result.
Can't fault you on that.
Do we have T in clock? We don't. No, we do. Chances that's going to work are pretty slim. We'll try it. So now we've got T dot seconds.
I think we need milliseconds.
Yep.
I think it supports millisecond.
State. State, right?
An HTML time element. That's not what we're talking about at all.
Get milliseconds.
You spelled get wrong. Yeah.
It's a little disconcerting that it's not auto-completing it for me, but
It's not elsewhere in the page yet. The other ones that I already knew because they're elsewhere in the page. Or in this document.
okay. So now we've got milliseconds.
So somewhere in this we have a negative 90 because of where
Yeah.
the way the angles start. The clock starts at the top, but the definition of the arc starts 90 degrees off from that.
Yeah.
So
It starts at like the 3 o'clock position.
yeah, it starts at the 3 o'clock position. So find where the negative 90 is, and we'll just copy the sine and cosine stuff from that. Maybe minus 90 instead of negative 90. Yeah, that looks right.
Math, it's got math in it, and pi, and 2.
Not that pi is a
Come on.
constant.
Alright, so copy that. Milliseconds. So now we've got a value there.
What is O index?
That's the index of this slice. So that's not,
We don't need that for this.
we don't need that.
Well, we could just define it as a, like use the draw
One.
slice thing to draw it and just draw slices going around. A slice is one of the
I suppose.
sections.
I suppose. Should we just do that?
I don't think it's going to be able to draw fast enough to make it look smooth no matter what,
Yeah.
but it'll be a little bit more obvious that it's choppy if it's perfectly aligned every single time.
Let's just try. Let's try the original thing, and if it sucks, we'll.
Okay. So,
1 second.
what do I have to do? We need to take number of milliseconds. What would it be? Milliseconds.
Number of milliseconds divided by 60.
Is milliseconds a number that's less than 1,000, or is it like a number between
Yes.
0 and 1?
That's between 0 and 1,000.
Okay, so we should divide it by 1,000 and multiply it by pi, and that will give us the angle that we want this thing to be at.
Okay.
In radians?
Is that degrees? What do we call it? Rotary offset?
Yeah. Angle?
Angle. The angle. Equals milliseconds. What?
Did you make more room?
Have a good day.
Oh, you're heading out?
Short, yeah.
Alright.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Right up there myself too.
There are pizzas.
Yes, have some pizza. We have 3 of them.
Okay, thank you.
I'll have some more.
I will remove my trash.
I'll try to cut it over there by my test.
Alright, you said something brilliant and I forgot.
Divide by 1,000.
Yeah, we take the number of milliseconds, divide by 1. Yeah, divide by 1,000 to get a number between 0 and 1, and then multiply that by pi to get, 2 pi to get the number of radians for wherever we're going for,
Well, why are we dividing milliseconds by 1,000?
so that we can, when we multiply by pi, we want to start with a number between 0 and 1 for like one full circle.
Okay. Got it. So, I don't know if I got the order of operations correct here. I think I do.
If it's all multiplying, the order of operation doesn't matter.
Times 2. Or, yeah, okay. Angle is that.
We'll see you all next time.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Oh, as good as tax advisement gets.
Oh boy.
I hope you save a lot of money.
Probably not.
I'm hoping.
I will like your help, but not hope for it.
Alright. We got an angle. So we want the angle is the so we want to take like my brain is gonna melt. I'm trying to incorporate sine and cosine into that angle.
Oh, once we have the angle, the cosine, let's see, cosine. You have to subtract
Sine
90 for the
sine
thing.
is y and cosine is x.
Yes.
Yeah,
But that's for starting at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's not going to be what we actually want, but we probably actually want to swap them and then flip one, like multiply by -1.
Is that true?
So if we're starting at 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
the direction we actually want to go is from 12 o'clock towards 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's going to want to go from 3 o'clock towards 2 o'clock. So the first animation that it wants to do is going to be like going up at this angle. So the x portion of that, which is going to be the cosine, is going to be the movement that we want to happen first on the x-axis, but going in -1 times the direction that it wants to go.
Okay.
Actually, it might be the same because this counts from the top left corner instead of the bottom right corner, or the bottom left corner. Now, coordinate systems suck.
Alright, I'm math stupid, so refresh cosine.
So imagine a circle with a radius of 1 centered at the origin of the grid system.
Okay.
The cosine is the position of the circle, like, okay, as the angle increases, it goes around and around.
Mm-hmm.
So the cosine is where you take the angle of the circle, starting from the 1, 0 position, so like the right edge of it, and the cosine is going to be the x value, and the sine is going to be the y value.
Is that where they start at 3 o'clock position?
Because that's the mathematically pure thing to do.
Got it. Okay. I mean, it makes more sense. I don't appreciate it more. So we've got effectively the angle that, right there that we defined is the x component
The, ang-
of
the angle is what you feed the sine and cosine to get the x and y coordinate of, like, position of that
right.
location on the circle.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So it's between 0 and 1. Feed that to like sine angle. Is that
I
correct?
just mathed that sin, but yeah.
Angle.
Yep.
And that's our.
Let's see.
Is that the x position? That's not the x position. That's.
That will be the x position on this one, I'm pretty sure, because the orientation of the clock is flipped over the 45-degree line. I wish I could draw and not just draw in air, because you can't see the lines that I'm drawing in the air, or what they're relative to. I have my iPad.
But so the sine is between 0 and 1, the y position on the circle.
Hang on.
An instance where we missed the smart board.
Yep, right? Very rare. Y thing. Math, sine, angle. And then I feel like this needs to be, this needs to be a
Pressure
function
sensitivity.
Yeah.
of the height as well. So multiply this by the available height.
So it's 1, 2, -1,
It's
-2.
the height divided by 2. Divided by 2 divided by 4 times 23.
See how perfect I could
I
do
feel
a
like
circle.
it's this. I feel like it's this.
Okay.
I'm going to be completely wrong. But I feel like it's that.
So this is kind of how this setup looks. This is the 0 point, and it's the angle from wherever this, however many degrees you put this at that many degrees. It's this angle here, and that's the input to the sine or cosine function. The sine is the y component. So here, if you draw this line all the way back to the y-axis, that's going to give you whatever the sine part of it is, and if you draw it to the x-axis, that gives you the cosine part of it.
Right.
So the cosine, well,
So right now they're both 90, or not 90.
So the sine of 0 is 0.
45.
No, the sine of 0 is 0. The cosine of 0 is 1. Because at 0 degree angle, right, the y value is 0 and the x value is 1.
Mm-hmm.
At 45 degrees, they're both the square root of 2 by some mathematical coincidence. It's nice. And then at 90 degrees, or 1/4 of tau, or half of pi,
Yeah.
y is 1 and x is 0, which means that the sine is, I always get these mixed up. So the cosine becomes 0, and then the sine becomes 1. Let me just, so sine equals the y as you go around, and cosine equals the x as you go around.
What's tau? What did you say? Tau?
Tau is 2 pi.
THAO?
T-A-U, the Greek letter tau. So,
I don't know Greek.
so pi looks like this, and tau looks like this. But
So our angle I'm thinking here.
So the weird thing about this is that we want our clock is flipped around this angle here, this 45-degree angle, because we want to start here and then go this way, and the math that we're using wants to start down here and go that way. So the first thing that we do is swap the sine and cosine, so that when we start at 0, if we use the sine for x and the cosine for y, it starts up here. And actually, if we do that, I think it will automatically flip around, so we don't have to multiply anything by -1.
Okay, so we're using invert
Al-
sine and cosine.
Although we still have to multiply it by -1 because the coordinate system starts in the wrong corner. Damn it.
Uh-huh.
I hate being right for the wrong reason, because then I confuse myself.
Does the Apple Pencil have a battery in it?
Yeah.
And charges from the tablet?
Yep. It's a nice setup. I like these iPads.
Eventually, I'll consider switching.
Okay.
Once I have money sitting around to swap all my devices, and an iPad, and an Apple Watch, and AirPods, and an iPhone. Right now,
I don't have any AirPods, but I have like these.
Right now, I have my Samsung Galaxy tablet, and my Samsung phone, and my Samsung Watch, and my Samsung Pods.
Yeah, I was never at all invested in the Android ecosystem. I had a phone,
And all my
Android
apps.
phone once.
Most of my Android subscriptions will swap. You can just cancel my Google Music subscription. and
This
swap
is-
to-
I'm about 3 feet below water at
Yeah.
this point. I there's a chance I won't die, but it's only a chance. So we've got an angle, which we've calculated, which apparently, so it seems to me angle has very little to do with the actual value component in the sine or cosine, because you want a value between 0 and 1, which we've got, but what we actually have is a value around the clock,
So
not along the x-axis.
the angle that you're getting is
Hey, Jeff.
the angle that you're getting is the input to the sine and cosine functions.
Okay. So it is what we want. It is what we want.
Yes.
Okay. So we want to take that angle, and we don't want to take it times this garbage, right?
Right. We don't need that.
So that's a dumb. I don't need that. But if we do this, if we get just the sine of angle, which we originally it would be y, but now we're going to use it as x, and we need to invert it anyways because the coordinate system's upside down.
We just multiply by -1 at that point. We're not switching sine and cosine again. We're just multiplying one of them by -1. Probably y, because y is the one that's going to be reversed.
Okay. And that'll give us, but that gives us a number between 0 and 1 again, right?
Right.
And then we need to take that times the height for y.
Times the radius of whatever we're going
Yeah,
around,
right.
and then offset by the center point of what we're going around.
Right. Which is what this is supposed to be.
So we still need that. We're not multiplying that there.
Okay. Well, that's not actually exactly what that is.
You know what you're doing roughly.
I'm
Okay.
lying to myself all the way through this.
Think of it like AI. You just
try harder.
Try random
more
things until
times.
it works. If you get really, really good at it, you become an
X.
ML programmer instead of a.
That's
a
what
bad
JavaScript
programmer.
math dot cosine angle gives us our x component. Well, we don't need to take this time -1, right? Or do we
No.
take both of them?
No, X is going the right way because X starts low at the left and high at the right.
Yeah. Okay.
Y
so
is
we're
weird
flipping it.
because it starts at 0 at the top and then.
So we got X thing and Y thing, and I want it to have Y position be influenced by Y thing times.
I call it like Y relative position and Y and X relative position, just to make that a little bit more clear. Because it is relative to the center. You just have to add the extra math to make it Just trying to name the variables a little
Yeah,
more
yeah.
usefully
Oh,
before we
yeah.
condense them away.
Yeah, we really ought to do that. Do we have a center?
Yeah, the
No.
center is just half the canvas both ways. Canvas height over 2 both ways.
But that's XY. We don't. Fine. Let's do that. Let's do that. Fine. Center dot x equals canvas dot width.
Yeah.
Over 2. Right? Y equals canvas dot height divided by 2. Okay, that's a little bit easier to reason about. So center is now an object which has an x and a y.
We really don't have to do that, but
Don't have to, but I'm gonna.
we'll keep it like that until we condense it down to something that makes more sense later.
I'm just following my nose here.
Oh yeah, we have
that's
pizza.
right. Eat pizza, please.
Dig in,
We ordered
participate in
more
code
than we
night.
need.
More people said they would show up than showed up.
RSVP. All right. So this code is probably wrong. I'm just typing things. Y position equals Y thing. Y thing needs a better name. Let's try to do that.
You
Y
sound like a
relative
5-year-old.
position, or like rel post.
What noise does it make?
What?
What noise does it
Yeah.
make?
Okay. So Y rel post.
No, we don't. We definitely do not need to name things after noises. Language is already an abstraction of noises.
I think we should use the phonetic symbols as variable names.
IPA?
Oh
Yeah,
my
let's do
God.
that.
You can totally do that in Go because you can use literally any character you want in Go, including Chinese.
Does JavaScript support Unicode?
That's probably a hard question to answer.
How much of Unicode do you really need? That's the question.
Y position is the Y relative position times. I don't know that.
No, it'll be plus
Yes,
or
yes,
minus,
yes.
depending on.
Well, no, because it's relative to the height, to the radius from the center, right?
So we need to multiply it by the radius, and then I think we need to subtract it from the center point,
Okay.
just for y, and then for x, I think we add it.
Okay.
For the latecomer?
Yeah.
What kind of language is this?
This is JavaScript.
JavaScript? Okay.
Yeah. You want to show them the clock?
That's not the clock.
Okay.
Never mind.
That's just a clock, right? It's not like a doomsday clock or anything fancy that you're
No,
pulling
it
time from?
just tells time.
Okay.
They wouldn't tell you if it was
I mean, it's a
counting
JavaScript
down.
clock, so every clock in JavaScript is a doomsday clock. Okay, so I'm still making shit up. Center dot y minus the radius from.
Imagine a programming language where the program counter is a float.
If knock me into the world, do you really think they'd tell us?
Yes, but they would put it
Quantum.
in all broadcasts, all tech broadcasts or something, and 3 people would respond.
People
and
would-
you know either the value or the speed of the counter, but not both. Oh fuck! I don't need more complicated shit in my brain. I'm trying to figure this out.
Sorry.
This is probably not even hard. John Carmack could be watching this going, "You idiots!" All right, y relative. So y position on the coordinate system is going to be the relative position as a function of the cos or the sine of the angle as -1 times. We want to get. This is going to be the height component. So the center y position minus the radius.
The radius times the relative position. Wait, hang on. Okay, no, I think we need to do the center of y right next to the equal sign. And then minus, and then friends don't matter anymore because we're multiplying, but yeah, the relative position times the radius Yeah, I think that's right.
I thought you said friends don't matter anymore because
Friends
we're
don't matter,
multiplying.
Exactly correct.
Friends.
Y relative
It's more like parents
position
than friends, but
times
I don't know
radius.
why I heard friends,
But it's
I
radius.
heard friends.
It's radius to the ring, right? Or just past the ring?
yeah, just past the ring. Or we can just run it on the ring for a while. That doesn't really matter
Radius
that
to
much.
ring. What is radius to ring?
The radius of the ring.
Radius of ring, right?
Yeah. What is the radius of the ring?
I don't know.
What is there is?
Is this the ring? Are you a ring?
I think that's the ring.
No, I think they're
If
a
only
ring.
we'd named our variables more helpfully. Naming things is hard. Ah.
Alright, so I think this is the ring. I'm going to prove this by just breaking it. Wait for the animation though, because. Oh, yeah. Oh!
We
JavaScript
broke it
broken.
pretty hard right there. Oh yeah, you didn't. The equal sign just dangling out there.
God damn it.
The undefined variable equals y plus equals.
All of this needs to fuck off. Is that VS Code? No.
It's Sublime text.
I won't touch VS Code with a 10-foot pole.
Is Sublime free? I forgot.
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay, I thought so.
Anything worth having isn't free. What am I doing? That's what?
There's a Mac user who was never really bought a Mac with his own money.
Yeah. I mean,
Nope, nothing worth having is free, is it?
it wasn't free to somebody. I'm just the beneficiary. Missing parens after something. 343.
Way down there.
Here's the thing about JavaScript. It's full of shit. Oh, no, it's actually exactly correct.
Nope. I think you just added 2 instead of
Nope.
1. No, never mind.
I did one which was helpfully skipped by my goddamn IDE, and then I did another one which wasn't skipped because another didn't exist. Stupid ass. I should turn that off.
I'm gonna go grab some.
All right, the ring's still there. God damn it.
Yeah, I think that wasn't the ring.
You think it wasn't, huh?
Oh, maybe that's the ring. Hey, that was a ring. Let's just comment this and name it the ring. We don't have to come back and do this again later.
Ring. Could probably make it a function and move it somewhere, but it doesn't matter. All right, this is all fine, and then this is all broken, but I'm gonna put it back. And I'm just out of curiosity. Nope, doesn't do anything.
Did you mean to not uncomment those last two?
Oops. Nope, I failed. All right. So we've got. Okay, so we identified the ring. That's our radius.
Yep, that's right.
The radius is going to be no longer 0. Let's do 0.86.
Well then.
And it stopped animating.
That just shattered like hell.
Nope. We just found the end of the
Nope.
world. We stopped the clock.
I think it was not animating before this last check. So
O is not defined.
in seconds, blip.
O is not. Oh, right here.
Huh. That's interesting.
Is it moving?
Yeah, a little bit. I think this is the imprecision that we get from it checking once per second. This is not rendering 60 times per second.
Right. Yeah. All right, so this all needs to go into the tick probably.
It's not already in something called by tick.
It is, but what? I don't. What's my argument? What's my counter argument?
No. I want to see this.
The hell is it doing?
Oh, good question,
It's
huh?
like stutter stepping.
It could be that that's just the amount of error that we get when we try to check the milliseconds when it runs 1 per second.
Oh, when it hits the 90-degree mark, it resets to 0.
Oh, that's what's going. Okay.
All right, put it back. This is a problem of draw tick new date. So we're giving it that. So T is populated though. We're getting the milliseconds. Why are we not drawing every like between frames?
See if sleep is called somewhere.
There's no sleep.
See, I wanted to believe you, but I also want to check. You know, trust but verify.
Uh huh. I don't like whatever the hell's happening here. Do that. Do that.
You're so lost without GoFund.
I know. GoFunk is so great.
You just made it look just like Go.
Yeah. So clock is being called on the draw function. Oh, if here we go. There's your problem. If it's if the second is the same as the second, then we return. So we are not drawing in between seconds. So move it out. Get out. Get out of here. Come on. Where's I want this. Function draw
Intra-second?
gonna hate that later.
They make things as hard. Anybody have any better name options? Suggestions?
T
It is scary how much of the hard part of programming is naming things.
T
This is why we have a function called bvp.
Oh, sweet.
Woo!
Now we're
That is
talking.
moving in a sign pattern.
So satisfying.
Oh, there's a negative sign pattern, which is kind of what I expect. Like
So
what
it's
we hope
going
for.
half down and then all up, then
And-
half down.
Is that half down all up?
No, it,
No, it starts
yeah, I was
going
gonna
half
say.
down.
so
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
it's doing this.
Mhm.
This is what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's just
It
completely
starts
refreshing in
half
the middle.
down.
It's doing what?
This is
I'm just gonna get my camera and record that in a minute. It's doing
I think you're about to get punched. that was a look. All right, what are we doing? Exposition. For some exposition. Get it? Ah!
Oh, I get it. It took me until the joke wasn't funny in order to get it.
Oh god. Stop. All right. What's the size of this goddamn thing? Too big.
That's what she said.
0.8. Let's see. Radius. Radius is where?
But the answer is too big, and that's what she said.
Cursed life.
Where's my goddamn? There it is. XY radius. Third argument. Radius of my arc. Okay, but
Radius of the ring. You put it in a variable.
yeah. I'm just trying to figure out why it's this wide.
Oh, radius of that.
Times 0.8. That's not it. That's the travel that's going on right here, which is correct. Like that looks correct.
Yeah.
But how do I make it smaller? Euler angle. This is all garbage. We don't need to calculate that. Begin path, fill style. That's all fine.
Oh, you change the canvas height /2/4 thing. Yeah, change that.
What, like
Like, change it to 100.
Oh yeah.
The whole thing. Change it to 100.
Oh man.
We're getting close. This is not the behavior that I expected, but we're getting close.
It's real rough to watch. 5.
Maybe you should redraw everything instead of.
That's real close.
Yeah.
Although
It is very clearly doesn't have the resolution it needs to look slow or to look smooth.
yeah. Well, this is what you get when it's 17 milliseconds per frame. It's going the wrong direction.
Yeah, we just need to multiply by negative 1 a couple times.
A couple of times. Nope, we just do this. That's actually not going to help at all.
No, that won't. I know what you're going for, but that's not where you need to do that.
Come
I
on.
said a couple of
keyboard.
times.
You're working on her.
No, leave that one fine. Leave that one there.
Leave that one fine.
Let's just make one change at a time. It's going in the right direction.
We're
think-
starting in the wrong place.
Yes, it is. I think we need to swap Y pulse and X pulse. Yeah, try that. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. This is why small changes are important.
This is how you crash an Apollo right here. Time. I'm just for. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm just doing it.
I'm just saying test in small increments, otherwise you get behavior you don't expect.
Where's it starting now?
Wait, yeah, go back.
It's starting somewhere else.
Starting on the 3 o'clock position.
Which is where you expect it normally to start.
Center, angle. Angle. Do we need to take this time minus like a quarter?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we shouldn't have to because we swapped the things, but let's do that. So that's going to be, no, it would be minus math.pi over 2.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Like so?
Close your bracket. Or parentheses.
It's there.
I believe so.
Oh, went the other way.
No, we just, no, again.
Wait.
We just have to flip the
Take out
y-axis
the y
now.
negative 1.
Yeah.
Y negative 1 gone.
What the fuck? Oh, wait, oh, yeah, this is right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't right at the very beginning, but
Why is it missing one dot?
Why are you missing 1 dot?
There should be a dot.
Yeah.
There it is.
oh, it's slowly walking. Look at it
Yep.
walk. I bet that's where the imprecision of the of getting milliseconds is.
I'm having a hard time believing that.
No.
I really want to tween this instead of doing what we're doing, but that'll take.
It's walking only forward though, so it wouldn't just be in precision, I don't think.
Now the dot's back.
It's so the starting angle is a function of the. No, it's not a function of the minute. Why is
It's
it?
a function of the input milliseconds. So what it's probably doing is it's evaluating some code that takes a short time to do, and it's saying wait 1/20th or 1/60th of a second, and then it's evaluating some code that takes time to do, and at the end of that it says try this again in 1/60th of a second, whatever the period is. So it's always going to drift a little bit farther to the clockwise direction.
Okay. I also want to blank it out. I don't want it to draw them.
Well, you have it set to only blank out on the second.
Yeah. So I need to blank out like a ring around this ring. So I need to get this away from the ring slightly, or I need to do a black ring on every frame, just outside of this ring. So take this ring, and we're gonna do
You can just use the old X and Y positions to draw a black one over it.
Oh,
You already have all the information you need to draw exactly the size of that, exactly the color that you need.
that's true.
The program already has all that information. But if you just want to draw a ring, that'll still work fine.
Yeah, I'm debating. Which
It's probably
ones-
it's easier to just draw a ring. You don't have to store that state.
Yeah. Debating whether I draw the actual outside ring on every second tick as well, because right now we're drawing once a second. There's no value in doing that.
You can just move this a little bit farther out, and then you can draw a black ring that is a little bit farther out.
1, 8,
Are you guys following what's going on?
6.
Oh.
No? That's not very good then.
I don't know why it's walking. I don't know why.
Okay, so every time we're evaluating, well, that's pretty close.
It's real close.
I think if you make that, yeah, okay, that'll work.
Almost.
I think just increase the radius a bit from 8.86 to 0.87.
But do you understand visually what he's going for as far as the consistency up in the 3 o'clock position?
I think we just need to
That
make it
they
wider
always
again.
appear that they're there because they're not disappearing as it goes
Oh,
around.
that's.
Does that make sense?
I think it gets a little bit gritty.
What?
Visually, what he's aiming for. Yeah. Okay. There we
Oh, you know
go.
what I think that greediness is?
What?
I think it's the anti-aliased edges being redrawn so many times that it becomes aliased again. I bet that's what that is. Are you saying the grittiness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I want to do? Back to 5?
I would just draw the outer ring every time.
Every time around.
I thought we were gonna draw a spaceship.
Well, one thing at a freaking time. All right. So
Isn't there some
the
spaceship thing in the 3JS demos?
I think there is. Yeah.
I don't remember which one it is.
But I would draw a canvas on our canvas and do a 3D shape one. All right. So I don't like that at all. Black ring followed by the ring means we get black. But why are we getting black every second? I think we probably need to draw this every second as well. Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Still, there's like a dither happening.
Yeah, that's the ring being drawn and not being cleared. That's weird though. I wouldn't have expected that.
So I'm gonna kill this one once.
I think that's being consistent.
Yeah.
The hell? And the difference is this is the orange. Did I say Blake? Black?
Black. Black. So the black ring is not quite covering up the edge of the orange ring. It's just like a tiny bit of the dot that's left over. It's not being drawn over.
Right.
And it
So I can move the dot out just a wee bit.
when it hit 60, the ring changed.
Did it?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
You wanted to increase the distance out that the dot is. So radius of ring, I want to change that.
7?
Make it 7.5 like the other one. That's what the other one is, right?
6.5.
Oh, 6.5? That would be the wrong direction then. I'll try it, see what happens. That was too far, I guess. No, it's on the inside again. I think you just need to like move it farther out to the outside and then make the line thicker.
Yeah, so like 8, and then 8. Oh, that's the exact wrong thing to do.
I mean, it looks more intentional now.
Looks like a doily.
It does. We have made a toilet clock. Well, doilies are basically table snowflakes anyway.
I don't like
I
that
think you
it's-
made the stroke on the circle thicker.
Yeah,
Like the stroke on the dot that
The-
we're drawing
the-
is what you made thicker.
it's. Yeah.
And that looks more intentional. It looks like the complete circle is visible. I think you just need to increase the radius of the black line.
Isn't it still? Yeah, still walking.
Yeah, I don't think we're. I mean, we could just like take it.
What?
Divide by like 20 and then multiply by 20. What's the frame per second on this?
30.
30. So divide it by 30, cast it to an int, and then multiply by 30, and then we'll get an even multiple of the angle that it won't walk. We'll just like once every 50 or so seconds, you'll just skip one, and we won't notice.
Okay. I'm gonna fix the black line.
Okay. Yeah. I think it just needs a little bit more radius.
On what?
And every,
On that 865 right there.
Yeah.
Let's try
It's,
870.
870.
and every time it like flashes
Closer.
every time it gets to the top.
Yes,
Closer? No, it's not.
close. There we go.
That looks clean.
It's moving so fast it's hard to tell though. Now it's harder to tell that it's drifting too. It's still drifting, but you can't see it very well. Except that it's also skipping the very first dot that it's supposed to make on each pass.
Yeah, and I don't like that. We're not getting. I mean, we're nowhere close to a smooth motion.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get it close to a smooth motion for something moving that fast, that far on the outside of the clock once per second.
Yeah, you might be right.
Now what we could do
Hmm.
is draw something that has gradients on it,
Yeah, I was just
like
thinking
a leading
that,
gradient
rotate
and a trailing gradient, and then as we draw that, it'll you can have a better
We're
illusion of
drawing
movement.
the most complex Ajax loading thing in the world.
It's not even using Ajax, is it?
No, but I mean, could you imagine you just throw this in instead of an Ajax loading thing?
What's Ajax?
Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It's
Usually not actually used with XML though.
right. It's how you do like a single page web application
Hmm.
and communicate with the server after having loaded the page, and like
Yeah.
all of the magic on the web with web pages is using Ajax.
So it's just using JavaScript
Well,
to make requests, and then
Unless you're using WebSockets.
it's using JavaScript to make requests, and then handling the response to update the page accordingly.
Is JavaScript queue-based then?
Is what?
Or I guess how does the communication happen with JavaScript
Oh, it's
compared to
asynchronous.
WebSockets?
It's asynchronous.
Okay.
That's the first part of Ajax is asynchronous.
Because you said you were going to be updating cog to use WebSockets, and that it would be more real time, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, when you say WebSocket, you mean just like port socket, like in Windows?
So it's a
Some
web.
context?
So it's a WebSocket is a, from my understanding, web implementation of BSD sockets.
Are
Sounds
BSD
right.
sockets the same as Windows sockets?
No.
But BSD sockets are what pretty much everything besides Windows uses.
Okay.
It's the right sockets. Windows use a bastardized version of it.
I mean, they did take BSD code, and their IP stack used to be based on BSD. It's not anymore, but it used to be. So they probably implement some of the same stuff for backward compatibility because Microsoft cares about that sometimes.
Isn't a socket just port IP pair? That's it?
No.
What?
There
Okay.
is a lot that goes into it. Socket programming sucks.
I haven't done it.
Yeah, don't try it.
What goes into it?
All kinds of information about socket types, and it's. Look up a C tutorial on BSD sockets. So that's where I did it. Like, it's so much easier with you just make an HTTP server and go.
Yeah,
I
mean,
would. That's so much easier.
It's scary how easy that is. Have you guys ever seen an HTTP server created in Go?
No.
You
I've
wanna
never
see
seen
it?
anything created in Go.
Oh, we should.
Besides the
You have to
brief
install
stuff
Go
I went
still,
over.
remember?
And, oh, that thing.
No.
Did you
I
start
installed
do
Go.
it? Didn't you do it last night?
I installed Go on my Mac last night. I don't know. I can't keep this shit separate anymore.
You made the server to serve up the in Go.
But they replaced them.
So that was on my Mac.
Yeah,
This is a Windows computer.
but replay the video from last night showing how to do it.
Go version. Yeah, we got Go. We got
Okay,
Go.
good.
We got the Go. All right, let's just do this real quick, because why not? Projects, new folder.
Is Sublime single pay or is it subscription?
Single pay.
Oh, how much?
$35, I think. $30.
Last time I saw it was 80.
$80. I mean, if it's $100, who cares? Pay for it. It's great. It's terrific.
If you're in a text editor all day.
I'm gonna save this as main.go, and I've got a command prompt. I'm gonna go cd users.
Okay, you should be using PowerShell, so you can just use the home tilde as the home character.
Oh, can you do that in PowerShell?
Yeah,
Oh.
Windows 10 somewhere along the line added that, so you can use it.
It's still
just like when
It's still a shitty in between having no command line and Linux.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a lot more orthogonal than anything in Linux.
Yeah.
Linux really sucks at making things consistent.
Yeah. Documents. Look at that. Nobody cares there. Hello world. So we've got hello world. We're going to create a tiny little web server. Package main. Package main in Go means this is going to be a program, not a package that is used by some other program.
Not a library.
Is main a type of package then?
Technically, it just means I'm a program,
Okay.
not a package
What,
to be used.
what other
elsewhere.
value would you put out?
If you were creating something like, so I've built packages for ConnectWise and WebRoot and Enable that I then use in other programs that are called package main.
Just show them the import statements and then the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Import.
So you can import other packages once you've defined them, but there has to be another piece of code. Like there's a package from somewhere. There's a file that starts with package FMT, and a file that starts with package HTTP.
Now, where is that set?
It finds it somewhere.
It
Is
knows
that part
about
of the installation of Go?
It's the standard library.
These are part of the standard library, yeah.
So we're going to start this by going to say flint.print ln for a line. Server starting. And we're going to go
Good. I don't need more caffeine at this hour. Thank you, though.
I always need more caffeine.
Anybody else want a soda?
Thanks, though.
No chance to specify the port somewhere?
Yeah. I haven't referred to any documentation for that whole thing, so I got it wrong. Golang HTTP.
Does GoNav need to be compiled?
Yes,
It does need to be compiled, but it has a that go run function will just let you compile it and then immediately run it.
Oh, okay.
It's great for testing. Though it also supports actual testing.
Yeah, it's got a terrific test. String. Oh yeah, nil. Rule 11. Use index handler. Response writer writes type handler an argument it takes. HTTP.response writer. HTTP.request.
Are you missing the R in handler?
Where?
Oh, never mind.
Probably just doing something stupid. HTTP.handle / index handler. That. Oh, so we can do that. HTTP.server. Let's hit server. Don't really care about that. Can we use index handler? HTTP.request. So I think I just got that wrong. Response writer and request. Response writer and pointer to request. I mean, it seems like I've got that. Am I crazy? Kirk saw me do this in like 2 minutes the other day, last night. Let's type. Func index handler. Let's serve.
That is very close to all the code that it takes to run an HTTP server.
I mean, it basically is. I don't know what the hell I'm missing here. We'll do this. We'll do a server. That's fine. I think it's just. I think I've got this function incorrect somehow. So I'll just do this.
Is R and W shorthand? Or is it just know that since there's unique names, you don't need to spell it out?
So W is the name of the variable, and R is the name of the other variable.
Okay.
The type comes after that. So Go is a little bit different because it puts the types after the variable name. So index handler takes a W response writer, which is a type response writer, and an R, which is a request.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just saying inside the function, write to the response writer that was passed in, hello world.
Does not implement HTTP.handler, missing a server HTTP method.
Have you Googled the error message?
So the fun thing about Go is that it's made by Google.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and their documentation is incredible. Like, this is really good stuff. I'm just being dumb.
Nobody knows more about search engine optimization for Google than Google.
Yeah, that's true. And then they made a language that, yeah, so that's why they call it Golang instead of just Go.
Googling, I'm assuming?
No, just Go.
No.
Because it's small.
Because there's a keyword called Go.
And yeah, and the what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for?
Coroutine?
Concurrency. The concurrency
Concurrency.
operator is the word go. So if you want something to just fuck off and go do a thing like a function, you say go, function name, and it goes. Asynchronous. And then you have to use channels to communicate with it.
It basically splits. It's easy multiple threading for applications.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's really hard to get that right.
Yeah.
It's always really hard to get that
It's
right.
always really hard. Go just makes it reasonably
Accessible.
reasonable to understand, and it's ridiculously easy to spin off threads and let it just go do work.
Is it secure? So like
Secure.
if you're
That's
going to spin up a
secure.
web server,
Mm-hmm.
how do you, like, is there, if it's easy, that means it's less to specify, which automatically makes me assume his is less secure.
You could add any arbitrary constraints that you want.
Yeah.
As arbitrary as you can express in code.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if it means anything to you, the Google Play Store
Mm-hmm.
was rewritten from Python to Go.
That's interesting.
It still amazes me what has been written and what Python is used for,
Python's
Yeah.
used in a lot.
It's using a lot.
like I said.
I don't appreciate that this isn't working because it really ought to be.
So when you say it's written in Go, how do you interface between HTML and Go? Is Go the client,
Just
the
write
server
some
backend?
HTML in the middle of your thing. Just you have a string.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just-
So
or link to it. I'm assuming.
There you go.
Okay.
but unfortunately, because I've managed to do something stupid, it won't compile. Go build. Same, yeah. Can I use index handler type func? Let's type it. It should be handler.
What's the star in HTTP request mean?
It's
a
a
pointer.
pointer. And
So
technically, they're both pointers, but
It's a memory address instead of the actual thing. They're just saying, here at this address is the thing that I want you to start looking at.
Interesting.
have you used pointers?
I know what they are. I have not used them enough to be comfortable with understanding their usage.
Sure.
I came from C, so like I have arrays of pointers, and arrays are really just pointers. So I like 3 nested arrays of pointers. So I'm actually like pointers to pointers to pointers to pointers to pointers to pointers.
If I wrote it, I would not have a problem understanding that.
Yeah.
But that's the way it always works, right?
Handler. No.
Do you want the handler to be the handler
No.
function that you wrote?
No, I don't. SL is going to serve. Want nothing, yeah, right. It's effectively the same arguments. Yeah, we get the same error. Cannot use index handler. Alright, I'm going to do one thing that is bugging me.
Is it case sensitive?
It
Yes.
is. And in some languages, you have the concept of private and public variables or methods.
Yeah.
In Go, the same thing exists, but if it starts with a capital letter, it's public. If it's lowercase, it's private.
I don't know how to feel about that.
It's awesome because it's really easy to read. No private, no public, no protected, no static, no none of that. It's either public or it's not. It's either exposed to the package, the program that imports it, or it's not exposed.
I
Access
guess.
point temporarily full.
You're
There's
in a
nobody in here.
type func.
It's his web server code.
Yeah. Handle func http.handle. I feel like I've done this so many times. There's no way I can be doing this wrong, but I'm clearly wrong.
Go back. So. No, mind.
What's FMT for in this case?
Funct is a package that just formats text.
Ah.
Or handles input or output of formatted text. This is really frustrating.
Define formatted.
I mean, formatted.
So,
So
not rich text, but stuff like
here you go. You got a placeholder token inside of a string, like %q, and then the thing that follows the comma, each argument after the comma, it takes the placeholders one by one.
Oh, interesting.
Bueller?
Did you truly record a video from the other night?
I'm trying to get it to pull up, but for some reason...
It's on YouTube.
Would watching that be...
I did it in there, and it took me 2 minutes.
Let's watch it. If it only takes 2 minutes, see what... If you can catch the difference in the video.
Did you do it on Windows before?
No, but for some
No, on
reason,
Mac, but it doesn't matter.
there's audio,
Go
but
is-
there's no video.
Go is very cross-platform.
It's black.
Yeah, Go is really nice because you can cross-compile it.
Mm-hmm. So same if you tried to go run with the same sort of
No, you're
code on
watching
any
on
platform,
YouTube. I'm
you just
watching
compile
on
it. and
Twitch.
boom.
You can even compile it for Windows from Mac or for Linux from Windows.
So we do all that from Linux.
Is going to be the string that comes out, I think. And it's going to be mime dot.
Way in there, isn't it?
I didn't join at the beginning of the stream either.
Doing a bunch of bootstrap stuff.
What's the difference in this case? Because isn't it just compiling it to an executable? Really dumb question, probably,
Binary,
but
yeah.
can't an executable just... Isn't that entirely in binary and doesn't just work without any care for the operating system? Or does it depend
does
on
care
if it has
about-
dependencies?
So the machine code itself doesn't care, but the machine code has to make calls to the operating system
Okay.
because it's running in protected mode. And certain facilities, like reading and writing to the
Yeah.
I/O devices, have to be handled by the operating system.
Gotcha.
So,
So you can have a binary that's cross-platform with a single binary. It just can't make any function calls?
No.
Oh.
You can only in that. So for
It wouldn't be able
example,
to do anything.
iOS to macOS, it's actually it's possible to have a binary that will run on both.
Yeah, because it's the same kernel, right? Or,
But it's a different architecture.
Yep.
So ARM
it's a
versus,
different machine architecture. So the machine code isn't even the same.
oh, okay.
but it'll run on both
Why? Does it have
because it's
just a-
bytecode, and they've got a bytecode interpreter,
Okay.
and so it can handle it.
It's just another abstraction there.
So it's yeah. So started.
Bytecode is partially compiled.
Yeah.
It's like what Java does. But yeah, there's also different executable formats on different platforms. Like the way the OS expects to load an executable on Windows is not the same as on Linux.
Mhm.
It's not the same as on other platforms. So
But
the compiler knows how to fix all that and make it work.
I really wish
So here I use a
automatically filling in
packet
my
CPU router, which does handling of paths and variables automatically, which is really nice.
completion.
Might as well make this full screen.
Are we streaming currently?
Yeah.
We're streaming YouTube videos.
Will that affect the audio if you don't mute that video?
Yeah, this audio will be streamed.
Okay.
I can't remember how long I fought with the stupid Sublime Text stuff.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sonic Wall.
Just turn your volume down.
It's for I
We're
did
gonna do a top.
configs on Sonic Walls, and now it's reminding me that I need to transfer the whatever because it was this your upgrade thing. Oh, yep.
So it's fighting with autocomplete not working, which was really frustrating.
It's done now.
Login page. I guess I don't need a template to do that. login page. There's really no good reason to use a template here. Let's just go ahead and Golang template login page.
I think it's going to take us longer to find it than.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, it's absolutely silly that I'm getting this error, and silly that I can't even apparently understand what it's asking for. HP handle.
Missing serve HTTP.
I'm gonna call this
Yeah, but you're
log.
not expected to implement this because the function's supposed to
Index, that's a little bit too on the
follow
nose.
the definition. Response writer.
Login dot go HTML, I think is the extension I want. I don't know what that is.
Tell you what. Let's just prove that Go isn't broken.
It's going to complain that your function isn't used.
It doesn't actually. Undefined foo handler. Red foo.
No, that's for different paths.
Okay, let's just kill that. Undefined HTML and log. Okay.
I think you'll need to go to slash bar.
Yeah. So it do work. C to kill it. And I'll go run main.go. Same problem. So it just doesn't. So, func index handler http.response.
Does the index handler need to return anything? Does it have a return value?
Nope. No return. R HTTP request, HTTP response writer, which are copied directly out of that thing. I don't think this matters. I'm going to do it anyways. No. So I want. We've got one defined here somewhere, don't we? Examples. Handle. Oh, I wonder if it's just because I'm so used to that router. So they're saying there's handle and there's handler or handle func. Handle func. fine. Just handle funk.
Should go from it. It needs it.
I know.
You should go from it.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely does. That's the other thing. Go has a defined, acceptable, and correct format for the code.
Style.
And it's a style guide, but it's enforced programmatically.
Okay.
So go fumped on the command line actually fixes your code for you. And if you're a clever boy and you got an IDE with a package installed that whenever you save runs go fumped, you can do things like sanity tests, like make sure this all is happy, save that, go back, and then go fumped, and if it's happy, it fixes the code. If there's an error, it doesn't fix the code. So if I leave something out, save it, throws an error and doesn't fix the code. So if you save and you don't get your white space fixed, you got a problem. It's kind of neat.
That's beautiful.
There's also, I'm going to do that. I'm going to say go import. I don't think I have it, but it's worth installing.
Automatically import stuff as needed.
And does go fumped.
It's just
yes.
part of Go. Oh my god.
I'm telling you, Go doesn't suck. Go get, and this is how you install stuff, by the way. Go get on the command line. Oh, gotta get install get.
Go get.
Go get.
You can't
Go
get
get
until you have get already. Catch 22.
What's get SEM?
Get
Source code.
Yeah.
manager.
Oh, okay.
the best and worst thing.
I was gonna say.
That's just a version control.
Well, I know that. I know what Git is. I just
Get SEM is just the website for Git.
I have never in my life been aware of that.
I mean, usually you just install Git from repos, right?
From what?
From repos and
Repos?
Linux. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum install Git.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Apt get, install Git.
Apps get install Git. Or if you're
And it smacks you in the face for not using sudo.
if your last mile is you download the source and you build it yourself on the slowest processor you can find. And you stream about that for 5 hours until it's done. I'm not even joking. He does that on Twitch every night. It's really funny. And then he talks about how the Silicon Valley is dead or dying, and IBM owns Linux. And
Aren't they like the only major company that doesn't have their own Linux distro?
IBM?
Yeah. Well, they have one now.
I don't know. They are a
Didn't
major
they buy Red
contributor
Hat
to
or
stuff.
something? No.
No.
Oh, what am I thinking of? Something like that.
Order documents projects. PowerShell.
I don't like your tone, sir.
I'm using a great editor. CD users. VB doc and then
It hasn't complained yet.
yeah, it's downloading and installing. And unlike Ruby, it'll be done in the next 30 seconds.
What is your thing against Ruby?
It's garbage. Convention over, what do they call it? Convention over configuration. Nope. Bad fucking idea. Try to hide everything with magic, and guess what you get? A bunch of magic programmers that only know how to twiddle the magic bits and don't know how the actual shit works. And if you have an error, like if something fails in Ruby on Rails, you try to debug that stack trace, there's people in mental hospitals because of that. I dare say it's worse than trying to regex HTML. Just saying. So go imports. I don't know why that's taking so long.
I never actually used Rails.
I used it one time just to know what it was, and I watched a couple of videos from Captain DHH.
See, I could never wrap my head around what Rails is even doing.
Rails is a framework that is designed to help you make a blog so fast your head will spin. But if you try to make ConnectWise with it, good fucking luck. It's good for a blog. It's good for
I mean, like,
podcast.
so I tried making a few things in it, and they worked.
Yep.
I just had no idea why it worked.
Yeah, because you say Rails do a thing magically, and it creates 15 folders with 148 resources in them, and then you go to the website and it loads. It does take a little longer because it's Rails and it's an interpreted piece of shit language.
Oh, I like straight root base, just straight.
Oh, I
root
gotta
base.
do TAC
Nice
E, I
enough.
think, or TAC W. TAC W.
Wait, what W?
Dash.
TAC.
Dash.
I've never heard it called TAC before.
TAC, bang, bling.
It's not bang.
I know
Yeah,
bang.
Bling,
What's bling?
$.
Ah.
But it's fewer syllables.
It is.
Whack, you've heard that one.
How about backtick?
Yep.
Whack / backtick.
Backtick is 2 syllables.
Yeah, so it's not hard to say. $. Backtick.
It's true. I wish we would just rename the letter W to dub.
Give it time. It might just
It's
happen.
the only multisyllabic letter, and it's 3 of them.
All right. Go imports.
www.google.com. Perfect. That's like all you need. And most people understand what you
Report all
mean too.
errors. So we want to do go imports TAC E.
And to fix the $sign instead of bling, you just got to say dollar. Just no, not ERA.
Dala
Dollar.
with an H potentially at the end.
Yeah.
It uses the same number of syllables. Like the entire second syllable of dollar is just the R sound.
Mm-hmm.
Replacing the R sound with the A sound doesn't make it shorter.
But it rolls off the tongue more. Go to
Not
dollar
really.
C.
L and R are really close to each other, like
I want
in terms of what your mouth is doing.
preferences, browse packages. Yes. I want this. I want this. No, I don't. I want to go in here. I want a terminal here. Give me a terminal here.
Type in
Get
PowerShell
bash.
up top. Or not.
Watch this completely fail because I don't have something. I'm gonna go install.
Go install Linux and Windows.
No. We've done that. Not
Yeah,
on
we
this
did
box.
that. You
But
missed
this
that
has
week.
got
It was
the
on the old
crappy hard
computer.
drive.
Yeah, I know.
We don't want
So
to do
we
that here.
put it on there.
Probably what killed it.
No, it sucked
Go
from before then.
Sublime. Margot. Migrate. Pasta. Watch Go Sublime just completely flip shit. Goes. Got him. Leave Sublime. Reopen Sublime.
Look for all that white space to go away.
What are you angry about? Starting. It's,
Starting, stopping.
I think it's crawling all of the packages. Agent go path is blah. Not using Margo extension. So like this thing says what to do. You want to use the development branch of the Go Sublime because reasons. First step, uninstall Go Sublime. Status bar should indicate control that which creates the Margo extension file. This control that, control X. That's cool, save. Close, please. Close, please. Do I have errors? Is that why it's not working? Cancel. I feel like I've got errors. Go. No, not go.
So does doing go in all caps make it work faster? Because you're yelling at it more and you're shouting go?
Yeah. That's why.
What I'm hearing is that Google developed this. It's more natural to do voice-controlled programming, so you can just tell your computer, "Go build."
Okay, Google, build. Oh, sorry. Did you have your phone to listen to that?
It's funny because I can tell Siri to do things with my servers and do it.
If I had Siri enabled, I could do that too. I just haven't set it up to do that.
Well, I'm really annoyed because this is like the third time I've set this up and I've gotten pretty good at it and it's still not working.
You can just put all of your stuff in a Git repo. That's just what you need to do. Every time you have a Windows profile, just write a script. They'll install everything that you need. Pull it out of Git.
Go status. Oh, I wonder if I need to install. Let's do that. Install package going. Gonna shatter the world. Oh, that's interesting. Can I find the file specified? Trying to execute a child. Tell you what, that seemed like it sucked. Going. Nope. Not that. Remove package. Golang. Shouldn't get any errors in there anymore. No more Python crap. But it's still not doing anything. Alright, well, anyways. So Go's really neat. It creates statically compiled binaries, which means all of the resources are in one file.
Mm-hmm.
No DLLs.
No DLLs.
No dependency hell.
If I want to, oh shit, I keep forgetting I'm on Windows. How do you set a environment variable from PowerShell? Anybody?
Set-environment variable.
No.
Set dash.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
That is the most common verb in PowerShell after get.
Path. Maybe.
It's not a path I want to set. It's an environment variable.
Yeah.
Let's.
I think it's $env colon and then the environment variable you want to set.
Dollar
env colon.
Yep.
Then the variable you
I
want
was
to
gonna
set.
say.
So
I know how to get them.
it says, I'm on
Equals.
Sublime's website, and it says licenses are
Yeah,
per
equals,
user,
and then
so you're
whatever you're
welcome
trying to set it
to use the one license on all computers and operating
You'll
systems.
want it to be in quotes,
Interesting.
unless you want to run the command and have that command.
How do you? Can I nest them? Like, how do you?
I'd make them separate. You can probably separate them by semicolons, but
It is $80, by the way.
Yeah, you're gonna have to separate them by semicolons.
I'm gonna just try this.
That's
I'm
gonna
gonna
I
fail.
just-
don't think that's going to work.
That's gonna fail.
Put a
Semicolon between
semicolon in
the
there.
things.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm building a Linux version of that binary. And then
It's
the
taking
first
a long
time it's got to pull all the Linux packages so that it can compile everything. Undefined HTML. What is it?
You moved HTML.
You didn't import it.
It was imported, and then you unimported it.
How do you? Why do you suck? I don't want to hear it. All right. Just want to demonstrate this stupid thing. There. And now we got Hello World.
LS, bruh.
LL. Doesn't work.
LS.
LS works. LL is an alias on every Linux system. I've tried it out anyway.
Because it's an alias for LAH. So we got Hello World.exe and Hello World. Yay! We cross-compiled. And if you want one for the Mac, guess what the architecture or the OS is called?
Mac
Darwin.
OS.
Darwin. And of
That's
course,
intuitive for everybody that isn't keeping up with the Mac constantly.
yeah, but you're a developer. Get over it.com.
Nobody else knows what Darwin is.
Yeah, not even Mac people know that. Yeah. So anyhow, now we've got a different sized Hello World without an extension, because why would you need an extension on a binary? It's a binary. Do you have file in Windows?
Well, nothing like the Linux version.
What does file even do?
Tells you what kind of file it is.
Ah.
So it'll tell you if it's an ELF or a Mach O or a whatever. What else is fun about Go? Go is really awesome. As long as you don't do the stupid thing and you do the right thing, then it's really awesome.
Go routines.
Go routines are sweet.
How does
over
it
that.
integrate with a database, for example, like SQL?
So it works really nicely. You
Just
import
import a library
like a driver. You have to import a SQL driver. Then you connect to a database, and you can
Probably day.
execute parameterized queries.
How do you save? Say you wanted to write a server application that ran a web server and connected to a SQL backend. How would you save the credentials for the SQL part? Hard code them or just?
And you want to put them in environment variables.
Okay.
I mean, you can hard code them if you want. I've done that a lot.
Are environment variables? Isn't that?
It's secure.
It
It's
is.
the preferred way.
Windows environment variables, you mean?
Environment variables, period.
That's secure.
Secure against what is the question?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Does
Yeah.
it just require a localized?
It's not in the code,
Yeah.
so it can't be committed.
Yeah.
It's not in a file plain text on the drive.
Yep.
It's just an environment variable. So you have to have physical access to the machine to get to it.
Yep.
That's as secure as you're going to get.
I mean, if you fork off a new process and try to read environment variables, you probably can read them.
Sure. But again,
Yeah. Okay.
But the question is secure against what?
Yeah.
So it's
Well-
not secure against forking, but it is secure against most of the ways that you would accidentally divulge your credentials.
Okay.
and yeah, I have not done. I mean, this is literally the first time I've ever set an environment variable in Windows ever. I set them all the time on Linux and Mac. But like, it's the preferred way to get.
Aren't environment variables global?
Global to what?
You just set that as a non-admin though.
Not permanently.
I'm an admin.
It's only for this session,
Yeah.
and it's not going to stay there for.
I think I'm mixing up
And-
names for something.
And in Linux and Mac, you've got like a batch profile or something equivalent. So that's just on your user.
Gotcha.
So it's not global to all.
I'm thinking of what's path variables or whatever.
Path. Yeah. Path is another
System
environment.
environment variables or whatever. That's global. That one
So
Windows.
usually,
Well, that's handed to you as a user when you log in.
and then as a user, you can append to it.
Oh, okay.
Which
Isn't
is
there a global one for that though in Windows?
There's probably a global default,
So
Yeah,
probably a default.
That's what. Okay, that's what I'm used to. I didn't know it was per user.
but it probably
Yeah.
just gets copied into the user, and then they can overwrite it with whatever they want.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's environment variables are per session. They're just the environment of every process it's running.
Mm-hmm.
So
Um,
every process running as a user in that session.
let's look at some other Go quick.
How do you
GitHub.com.
execute? So say you wanted to execute a PowerShell script from a Go server.
Uh-huh.
How do you do that? Is it just do a Windows call or is it
Exec.
Exec.
just okay? Is it just execute a program from Windows like exec command?
It's like you're in the shell.
Exec
Okay.
PowerShell.exe space.
Just a normal shell. Okay.
With the exception that if you call CMD or MSI, those two programs,
Mhm.
you have to pass the text of the command quoted to it to be parsed. if you hand it, because like if you talk to most shells, like you want to hand it strings that are separated, space separated, like array of strings, not ping space 8.8.8.8. You can't do that. You have to say ping as a string, comma 8.8.8.8 as a string at 2 exec. Takes 2 arguments.
Does it just automatically do the space then?
The command knows how to deal with it. But if you hand it something with a space, it blows up. It doesn't know what to do with that. It's really weird.
Interesting.
And very frustrating.
So if you, the reason I'm asking all these questions are because there's this one project that I've been tempted to do for a long time. How would is Go more of something you'd use on the back end and you wouldn't really use it for the web portion if you wanted to have a dynamically updated HTTP or a HTML page?
I use it for the web all the time.
Okay.
That's like the main UI. But you use JavaScript on the client side.
Yep.
Unless you want to be a total badass and use WebAssembly and compile your Go to WebAssembly, which you totally can do.
Is that more different?
It's different, but it means you're no longer writing JavaScript, you're writing Go everywhere, which has costs and benefits.
Okay.
I've got a test Go WebAssembly version of the rain chart, which runs like complete garbage.
Okay.
It's like half the performance of pure JavaScript because Go's WebAssembly is not optimized yet.
Okay.
But I use Go for pure web backends on the stuff that we've got internally all over the place. The ConnectWise pods, those are all powered by Go.
Just listening.
And here's a password cracker we named PassCrack, and it doesn't crack
I think it's not
passwords.
PowerShell, considering the verb noun syntax.
And this is multi-threaded in that we say go do the thing, and we do the thing 3 times, and we pass it just a bullshit string, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this go means it's actually running in a separate go routine. Go routine being, I think they call them green threads. I don't remember exactly what that means. On the OS, so the OS has the option of throwing it on an actual separate core and running it in parallel.
Huh.
But in Go, you don't have any control over whether that happens. It just gets scheduled.
Okay.
So
Is that entirely based on the operating system choosing to handle it then?
Yep. It lets the OS schedule it.
So it's more separate threads then?
If the OS lets it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's up to the scheduler.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds like you're losing input control. How do you?
Depends what you're doing. If you're just serving web pages with something dynamic with a huge load, it's not a problem. If you're like doing real-time stuff, then yeah, that could be a problem.
Okay.
But
Is that just where Go is just not meant for certain use
It's
cases?
not meant for real time.
Okay.
It's also garbage collected. And so as a result, it has to do like the stop the world where it halts the program, cleans up the memory, and then continues on.
Gotcha.
But the stop the world is like measured in nanoseconds now. It's
Damn.
quite fast. But that's what a lot of people, when they come to Go, they say, well, it's not, it's a compiled language, right? It's not interpreted, so it's fast. But it's not as fast as C, and it's got a garbage collector like Java, but it's not,
It's kind of a middle
different.
ground then?
It's almost as fast as C, not as fast as C, but in many cases faster than Java. Sometimes Java's faster than it. But it contends really well, and there's a really good reason why they replaced the Google Play Store with Go. And Apple's entire search architecture is written in Go.
Is Go open source then?
Yep.
Separate from Google then?
Yep.
Okay.
It was originally written by Brian Kernighan of C, and Rob Pike of Plan 9, and another guy whose name I can never remember. It was a skunkworks project at Google that they managed to somehow push into being, and it got the right support at the right time, took off, and it's becoming the preeminent cloud language because it's very high performance. You can write it in Windows, compile it to Linux, deploy it. Lambda supports Go, So you can write Go code, throw it into Lambda, and make it like a cron job, make it receive events and crunch stuff and throw it in a database. You know, it's very effective. And it's strongly typed, so you get the type system not letting you go off the rails. It's got a couple of quirks that are really unfortunate. There's a concept of variable shadowing, where you get separate scope without realizing it. Like, you just have to be aware that if you go inside of a for loop, you get a separate scope, and the variable passed into your for loop follows the for loop, and that's only a problem if your for loop kicks off a go routine using the variable from the for loop. And so then you can end up with 25 go routines that are supposed to each have a different value from the for loop, but they're all the same value because it's basically a pointer. And then you do a weird thing where you say, you know, elephant equals elephant. So you're assigning a local variable elephant that is equal to the original for loop's variable elephant, and then you get the right behavior. But it's one of these things that can drive you insane because you think you're kicking off a bunch of work to be done, and it does the same work the same way on 1,000 instances, and you don't get any difference. Like, it handled the first one or the last one, or someone in the middle, but they're all the same. It's really odd. That's probably my biggest gripe about Go. Otherwise, it's pretty kick-ass. It's pretty clean. There's a concept of the happy path. Keep everything as far to the left as possible. And the Go style guide is enforced by Go Funcs, and that plus your IDE running like Go imports handles your imports, which was kind of an annoying thing to have to deal with. Is you import HTTP or template or exec, and you just start using it, and then you have to go up to the top of the thing and import it, or you stop using it, you have to go back up to the top, remove it, because Go doesn't allow for unused variables or unused packages.
Okay.
So, like, having that built into the IDE, it cleans up for you, and especially if you have a habit of, like, adding a little bit of extra white space, hit save, your white space comes down, you don't even have to go and run compile test. You know it'll compile because it just cleaned up the white space. It's pretty cool. And, really killer feature, I don't know if you noticed, but when we go, let's just do this. Go build. Done. Really fast compile. COG compiles that fast. And it's not small.
What's the exe file in COG?
The agents are around
12 megs.
12 megs? That's what I thought. The server is a little bit bigger.
How much line of code?
On the agents, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while. I want to say something like 9,000, and then the server is probably like 20 or 30,000.
We run that in AWS, right?
What's that? Yeah, everything's in AWS. Yep.
Is it not Lambda then?
COG doesn't have any functions in Lambda right now. No.
Okay.
I played with the idea of throwing like agent check-ins over the fence to Lambda to process stuff because we were running into locking contention within the Go server. But then I worked a way around that with Go routines and some fanning, and eliminated the blocking that way. And that's part of why the rain chart is in existence, is to help us see if we get a band in the rain chart, it means something is going sideways, and it's literally just COG unable to keep up. And so it's not able to handle a check-in and then send over the WebSocket, this thing checked in. So you get this band. So if COG is blocking for whatever reason, that's what bad things look
So on
like.
the AWS side, it's just a Linux VM?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Literally. Do we do auto scaling at all?
No. COG runs on one EC2 instance with 2 vCPUs, 7.5 gigs of RAM, and it consumes about 10% of the CPU and about 800 megs of RAM.
Holy shit.
And it's handling check-ins from 9,000 machines. it's way more efficient than Enable. It's like embarrassing how efficient it is. The only time it really starts to freak out, and I think it's because there's a memory leak that I think I might have fixed, is when we get lots of agents coming into download. I had a problem where I've got the agent installer and the agent in memory. I load them off disk and I hold on to them, so I don't have to read the disk anymore. And then I just go throwing out bits. But what I was doing is I was creating a buffer, copying the in-memory stuff into the buffer, and then writing the buffer out, which meant for every concurrent download, it's only 12 megs, but we got slow clients. They can take a little while. For every concurrent download, I had an extra 12 megs in memory. You do that times 8,000, you got a problem. And I was running into out-of-memory issues. So I'd just get this huge storm of agent downloads, and then COG would just pass out on the floor because it was out of memory.
How do you handle updates then?
So that was the very, very first feature I built because we've got all these other tools that suck at handling updates. So the first thing COG ever did was update itself. What I do is I download the installer, install it as a service, kick off the service runs, kills the COG agent, downloads the new COG agent and replaces it, starts the new COG agent comes up, kills the installer.
That's so cool.
And you have to do that in that order, and that's why you'll see like every service that has a self-updater has the service and a watch guard, or the service and installer, or a service and an updater.
Yeah.
Because they have to have a separate thing.
When it runs as a service, is that running entirely in memory, or does it have a local space in Windows?
No, once it's loaded, it just sits in memory. And it's like, the agent consumes like 16 megs of RAM. The Huntress agent is a Go agent. Same, I mean, basically the same thing. I love Go. It's awesome. Ruby sucks. The only language that might be better than Go that I'm struggling whether I want to learn is Rust.
Rust? I come on to learn Rust too.
Firefox is being rewritten slowly in Rust, and that's why it's so goddamn fast now. It's embarrassing how fast it is compared to like Chrome, and that's because it's written in Rust. But Rust is like Go's got a very small learning curve because there's only 16 keywords and there's very, very little to learn. Rust is like C++ or worse.
Oh, okay.
It's not about worse. It's hard to be worse than C++.
Yeah, but like you get so there's languages. Okay, consider Go the apple of languages. Here's the right way to do it. If you don't like it, fuck off. But it's really good, and its batteries included. It's just fucking great. There's a couple downsides, but it's great. Rust is like the Linux or Unix of programming. Like it is going to give you so many options to do the thing that you'll drown in options before you ever produce anything. I think it's optionally garbage collected.
It's optionally safe. It's not garbage
It's
collected.
optionally safe. I think they're building garbage collection for it. That's what they're doing.
I think it kind of defeats the
Define
purpose. Safe, like the compiler will not let you do things that are like potential memory corruption. You can't have silent memory corruption. It will not let you reuse or write variables in conditions where multiple threads might be accessing that data.
Right. And Go can't detect that yet.
Okay.
That's a hard thing to reason about, and Rust has got it. So Rust is also incredibly fast. It's faster than Go. I don't know that it's faster than C in all cases, but it's fast enough that the Rust people are way too confident.
I think the fastest web server in existence right now is made in Rust.
That wouldn't surprise me. And probably second fastest is some Nginx that's been optimized to hell.
I don't know about that.
No?
Wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know what's in second place.
I think Nginx has been in first place for a long time now.
I know Nginx scales really well to high load, so.
Yeah. Go does too. Go does as well, as long as you don't run out of memory, which is what I've been finding. And like I said, COG is handling 8-ish thousand endpoints, checking in once a minute, spinning up a Go routine for each check-in to go be handled, do a thing, and return a value, and then send it off on its way. And we're going to be scaling that up to WebSockets to every master, and then WebSockets from the master out to all the agents. It's going to be interesting to see how it handles the WebSockets, which are persistent, because technically it's an additional persistent connection, but it's also fewer handshakes. Now you're just pinging across this WebSocket, so it's technically less load. So we'll see. Yeah. If you want to learn a language, Go. You could do worse than Go. JavaScript's probably not the best choice, except for the fact that it's fucking everywhere.
It's also really easy to get started in.
Right.
Because you can make a GUI in HTML and
if you got a web browser,
have the application loaded
everything
in
you need.
JavaScript, and you can be super productive with that. Like, you'll make something that you can understand what it's doing, and it does something interesting really quick.
Yep.
If you want to do basic, not super pretty necessarily or complicated, but basic dynamic stuff like bar graphs or something that does real time, what's better, Go or JavaScript?
Good question.
Define real time.
So
Because
say I
what
wanted
computer
to,
science
so
thinks
you've
real
used
time.
Kaseya, yeah?
What?
You've
Kaseya.
used Kaseya?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I have.
Well, so say I wanted to write a Kaseya thing that does basic monitoring, maybe some basic PowerShell execution based on a like custom skin over PowerShell, so to speak. So say you want to make it so that you can take a code snippet, load it into your server, and ship that off and have the endpoints execute tasks
Okay.
for like Kaseya task execution. And say you wanted
Are
to
you
do
doing
some
Kaseya
monitoring.
consulting on the side or something?
No,
Okay.
nothing to do with Kaseya. Just that's what I used to use, and
Okay.
that's what just kind of inspired it.
Okay.
Almost more like Logic Monitor, maybe. But say you wanted a GUI to report pie charts of disk space utilization, stuff like that. But you wanted it to be able to update, not real time, but like
Reasonably.
fast. Like you wanted to be able to watch a disk fill up close to real time. What would be best?
I mean, with that much closeness to real time, and you're talking PowerShell, I would have, I guess, PowerShell script sitting there collecting disk data, making web requests to a backend. I would write the backend in Go, but if you're talking about Kaseya, I don't know how that interplays.
Oh yeah, don't worry about Kaseya. That was
Okay.
just an example.
So I've done this.
PowerShell exporting to a Go server backend
Sure.
that exports that then to a SQL database.
Yep.
Pull that from SQL, report it in a web browser.
Yeah. So there's two ways you could do that. You could do it that way, which is kind of the what do you like to call it? The hoopajoop, the giddy up. I can't remember what you call that. Where you basically were going onto your elbow to get to your ass.
Yep.
You put it in the SQL and then you read it back out and then you whatever. You can totally do that. You create a Go server that accepts a GET or POST request, and you create a PowerShell script that does like a web request or
Invoke web request and
Invoke
send
web
it
request.
JSON because it's
Send
convert to JSON.
yeah, you send it some JSON. Send that. You ship that off to the server. Server receives it, puts it into SQL as a row, and then on your UI, you request an HTML web page, which you could dynamically just build. You say, I want to create a pie chart, for example. This is what I use constantly. Here's a pie chart. I use this fucking everywhere. It's the best charting library that exists. And what you do is you say, okay, Go, I'm going to create this document. It's going to be HTML with some JavaScript, and embedded in the JavaScript, I'm going to throw this JSON stringified set of data, which HighCharts takes a very specific format for the data for good reasons. And you just fetch that data out of SQL. You loop over it, appending to your array all of your data and your dates or your values. You send that to the browser. So you compile that whole document, which is just a string, convert the bytes, write it out to the response writer. Your browser receives that, throws it up into whatever frame you've got, and you get your data. Done 1,000 times. The other way to do it is to have a web server in Go talking to PowerShell, and I don't know if you could do this with I don't know if you can do WebSockets over PowerShell.
I don't know of a way to.
Okay, doesn't matter. You got a looping thing, kind of the same thing, but instead of it going to the server and then SQL and back to the server and then displayed, you have the data coming into the server. You can throw it into SQL, but then you set up a web request, WebSocket with your browser. Browser can basically connects and says, I'm going to we're going to have a conversation. And then what happens in the back end, you say, whenever you get new data from the disk, so web request comes in, here's a new slice of data, it's the C drive and the D drive, one's at this and one's at this. You can ship that off directly to the browser over the WebSocket, and then HighCharts actually has an API. You say on the on your receiver, you got on message event, and you say on message invoke this API for HighCharts, append this point, and then PyChart grows.
But that
that's
would be
real
persistent data is the things too.
Right, but if you can
Yep.
do that
And you
and
just
ship it off to
fork it out
SQL,
too.
and
Okay.
then you're not doing the round trip to SQL, you're storing it.
Suppose you could also at that point do two separate. You could do both at the same time, where you could
Yes.
say detect if it's open. If it's not open, just ship it to SQL. If someone is looking at the page already, fork off a copy
Exactly.
of the data.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
It looks like it can, but you need to add a special library to it. You can't do it in pure PowerShell.
Yeah. PowerShell 6.
Probably not even in that. It's a .NET thing. You just have to import .NET assembly.
Isn't that pure PowerShell? Or are you talking like PowerShell Core?
Core.
Oh, okay.
Like you can do it in PowerShell, but you need DLLs that are like you have to. It's special stuff.
Yep.
You can do it.
I want to do something similar to that with like a tree size, like the stuff that you played with, but up a level. And then take that, and we could even, like, because we got so many endpoints and we got so many disks to look at, so many file systems, and we know what's normal and what's not. We can.
It's similar to what you were doing when you're looking for disks to run off a cliff.
Correct. Yeah. But we could take this thing and we could say, kind of like Huntress does. Use there's a fancy word for rules of thumb.
Statistics?
No, it starts with an H, I think. Doesn't matter.
Heuristics.
Heuristics, because nobody knows what that means. It's rules of thumb. If this thing doesn't appear often, shit, program files, nobody cares. It's common. It's on like 100% of computers. But this file exists on 0.001% of computers. Inspect that. And that's basically what Huntress does and what Weber does. But like, I feel like we could do more with it. I don't know. I think also the whole directory growing in size, like log files are going crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
with
detecting that.
rate limit or growth rate detection for
Yeah.
log files and stuff.
Yeah, explosive growth detection would be cool.
Yeah, we have problems with that all the time.
Mm-hmm. And then the question always is, what can we delete off the disk? Oh my god, everybody's sweating and on fire. Like, this would tell you, oh yeah, hey, there's a ticket, it says this, we've got explosive growth, it's on this file, we don't know if you can delete it or not,
Did you hear about the UGM ticket where we found a...
Don't forget that we're being recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That totally
Yeah,
other
what the-
client ticket that they had a 140 gig or something error log, or not error log, like an event log or some
Yeah.
sort of completely
Just
we don't
monstrous
care
log. Yeah.
from I think it was Adobe or something.
What the hell?
I think I heard about that, but I didn't
Yeah.
get much detail.
I don't know much detail
Logging the entire
beyond
internet?
that.
What's going on?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, what the heck?
Huh.
Yeah.
Explosive growth or just kind of snuck up on us?
That one I don't know. I don't know the history on it.
What?
Set logging error level to debug.
Yeah. TAC VDB.
Function was called. Log it.
Yeah.
File was no. 80 bytes larger. But the function that you called to write the file, well, that was a function call.
What's other than WebSockets? What does COG use now again? What's the term for sending information that you're going to switch to WebSockets?
Oh, just web requests.
Just web requests?
Just
Oh,
HTTP
okay.
requests.
Gotcha.
HTTP requests that are double encrypted. Because we were concerned about man-in-the-middle attacks. So now that's impossible.
That's been in place for a while, too.
Yeah. Yeah, Philip requested that, and I was like, I'm already doing SSL. He's like, even so. I'm like, for fuck's sake. So yeah, now it's just part of the way COG works is everything gets double encrypted. And you would think that adds a lot of load. I don't know. It's at 10% on 2 vCPUs. It's probably fine. Mm-hmm.
You ready for 100,000 agents?
Probably not. Actually, the thing that's going to crack at 100,000 agents more than anything else is the database. The database is going to throw up. I bet you the COG server, the 2 vCPUs, as long as I fix my memory leak, will probably scale to close to 100,000 agents. It's just, we're going to need like 10 more databases.
What do we
Or
use for a
change over.
database?
Hmm?
What do we use for a database?
It's Amazon RDS, MySQL.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So it's like a database as a service kind of thing?
Yep, managed
Oh.
database. I don't have to touch it. It's just there and runs, and they update it and stuff.
Sweet.
Gets backed up.
How do you
Um,
interface with that? Is it
As
just
far as the
appear to the
GoCode,
VM
GoCode
as-
doesn't know it from a MySQL box or MySQL on my
So
local.
it effectively is just like on the local network as far as the VM is concerned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Although networking in AWS has gotten bad. It's really confusing. Like the VPCs and there's like legacy stuff. And unfortunately, I built over half of what I've got up there on what I didn't realize was going to become legacy. And now there's a bridge from legacy to VPC, and it's all working, but it feels kind of fragile,
Yeah.
and it needs to be redone. So there's that. And then when we did go to VPC, we did a really stupid thing and consumed like an entire Class A, private Class A, and shouldn't have. But we didn't understand that. So there's some fixing that needs to happen. I'm not proud of it. It's just true.
It's funny.
All good.
Yeah. But our database server sits at like 30-ish% CPU. We ran into IOPS constraints actually. Writing the data, we needed to go to provisioned IOPS on AWS because especially when I was committing all of the agent data when it was changing. So like we have state collection that happens. We just collect facts about all these boxes. When a bunch of these things tick over and like they need to recollect, it writes a bunch of data to the server, to the database, and it'll pump. I mean, right now we've got 1,000 IOPS provisioned, and it'll peg the shit out of it. Just no problem. And before, I think we were unprovisioned, and so I think we got like a burst of 300, and you just see COG just struggling to write data for like hours, and they would throttle us and stuff. So we went to provisioned IOPS, and it's way, way better. But we can consume, I mean, as much as they'll give us, as much as we'll pay for. But it's like a spike, and then 90%, 95%, like nothing. I think we sustain 100 IOPS.
Does it just put all the ones out and wait?
Yeah, and I can change. This is why I had a Lambda instance that was like receiving events, because I was going to try to put that data into the database over time, a little more slowly, spread out that burst. And it's still possible to do that, but you're intentionally slowing down the saving of this data that you want to keep. So the only real way to do that is to throw it into what Amazon calls kinesis, which is considered just a pipe. You put in a request and it goes in the pipe and it stays there until something on the other end pulls it out.
Yeah.
And you can totally do that, and it works. But because of the way COG is architected right now, I didn't have a method for it to know that the thing was in there. And so it would say, the data hasn't been saved. It's like, I got to go get the data again. And so I had to re-architect some things to have it be chill about the fact that the data is taking like
Just
10
keep
minutes.
resending it.
Yeah. But then by the time I figured that out, I had already fixed my blocking issue. And so it's not a big deal anymore. So I just paused all that work, and I can go back to it if I need to. It actually would be a really good way to fan out the data. So if I needed for whatever reason 10 COG servers with agents checking into whatever through an HA, what am I thinking? High availability, not high availability, a proxy, proxy. I could have all of them throwing at Kinesis the data they want to save, and then Lambda instances, as many as I need, just auto scale, just pull it all in and throw it at the database. But then the database is going to be sitting there hanging from the ceiling because it doesn't have enough IOPS.
What's our AWS bill for that?
Not high.
I was gonna say
Couple
that.
$100.
It's under 1,000.
I think it's not over 500. I don't think.
Yeah, it is.
Damn.
Huh, I know.
But like a quarter, maybe a third of that is the database, just storage and IOPS. It's a little bit pricey to do the servers, managed servers. They come at a little bit extra cost. But like the EC2 instance itself, like I said, it's an older like M2.small or something. Like it's not a big instance. It's bored. It's running 5 separate services in addition to COG, and it's bored. It's pretty nice. And we got another server that's doing PHP and peeing his pants all the time, but it's PHP.
Don't learn PHP.
It's not worth it. Not worth it. Learn Go. Learn Regex. Regex is good to learn.
Learn Python.
Python's alright. Especially if you want to do ML stuff. Python is basically what you have to learn.
I was like, no.
I love the concept because I watched the number file, or the computer file video on that, and I was like, oh, cool, now I know what this buzzword actually means.
Yeah.
And it was one of the coolest and most simply powerful things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I have zero interest in that.
ML or Python?
ML.
Okay.
But also Python.
Yeah, that's fair. ML can solve interesting problems, but it's kind of like blockchain.
It's not the most efficient way to do anything. It can do some things you can't do any other way, but...
Blockchain's gonna change the world.
I mean, it already has, right? Everybody's talking about it.
It's already producing more pollution on its own than several countries.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were to do sockets. Sample code. Server program. Oh god.
It's a C file. That's alright.
Help. I need an adult.
Notepad.
No.
When in doubt, Notepad.
Okay.
I bet it runs everything together because Unix terminated.
No.
Oh no! Wow, I did the smart thing. It knows that it's Unix. Wow.
What?
Notepad got smarter. Notepad now recognizes Unix.
Are we allowed to
randomly.
be in here? Because it's not supposed to know those things.
This is the first
sockets.
update, the first major upgrade to Notepad since Windows 3.1.
Well, I mean, there you go. I don't like C at all. It's so dirty. I'm like, what's this bullshit? Come on. You clever fucks. There's 0 white space
They're using tabs.
between any lines. Come on. Humans have to read this shit. I don't know.
Isn't that why we have ML?
Actually, it's funny. There are business magazines that are trying to pitch that ML will replace programmers. I'm like,
No.
cool. I'll wait for that day. I am not worried.
I can't wait to see what ML produced code looks like.
I mean, we've seen what like an ML produced book looks like, and it's awful. It's hilariously awful. Like, machines are not creative in any way. They're simply random noise.
Like that machine learning books?
Yeah. They fed books into an ML model and said, make a book. And the ML model went, "Roar," and here's a book. And it's like, it's English, mostly.
Mostly.
You haven't seen any of those memes where, like, we gave a computer algorithm, like, 500 works of, or 500 episodes of Friends or something, and then told it to write a script, and here's what it produced. You haven't seen those? They're great.
Oh, yeah.
No. This sounds awful just by the way you described it.
Oh God, what's going on here?
That's
Ads.
holy.
Lots of ads. All the ads.
Wait, why isn't ad block on here? Or, sorry, U block.
We
This is
literally
a brand
just
new
reinstalled
computer.
this computer.
It's a fresh as fresh.
That's
as
not
it
the
gets.
first thing you do.
No,
No,
you
you
have
can
to install Firefox
Firefox
and Go first,
Firefox Go and Git. That's sublime.
and Linux.
I'd use Firefox if Enable would work with it. My Enable never wants to work with Firefox.
Why is I rarely use Enable.
There's something weird with the way it interfaces with external applications, the protocol handlers.
String Connect doesn't work right either, so I have to use Chrome.
So it works if you like run the Screen Connect installer and then let it like open up a window, and you kill Firefox and open it up again.
Yeah, then it works for a while, and then it breaks again.
It doesn't break until after you kill Firefox again.
Singularity.
Singularity.
No,
Oh.
it said Singularity.
Damn it! What was the name of that website that we keep checking that I've forgotten about now?
My adaptive.
My Adaptive.
That was great. Thank you for showing us that.
You keep going back there.
Yeah, once in a while.
We just have to make sure that it's still there.
They haven't put up any
Their
new stuff
blog
recently. Oh, this looks different.
This does look
The
different.
Essence platform now. It is new. The thing that does everything.
Oh, this background. I want to reproduce that without looking at their code.
That's not code.
I think that's just a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie. I can see JPEG artifacts.
Oh, now I'm sad for them. Why didn't their machine learning do it?
Because it could do everything. It could take a
All it knows how to do is
low-res
upscale.
photo and generate.
Yeah, right.
All it knows how to
How
do
does
is
Actually,
stream upscale.
did you see that somebody used, is it ML? I think it was ML, to upscale an old ass movie to like 4K?
Well, maybe they used Mind Adaptive.
No, they said exactly what they did. They took HD video and downscaled it to like 480 or 240, and then fed those into the machine learning, and because they got the original, they said this is what it should look like. So use machine learning to achieve that,
Mm-hmm.
and they did that a whole bunch, and then they fed it as like the actual test this garbage video, and it did a great job of upscaling.
So that's
And
actually
everybody's
fun.
going, this is perfect use case because we could give it garbage that we know what it's supposed to look like, and we don't have to sit here and train it shit, you know. Although it's costly because of computing power. We were gonna check the blog. We gotta check. Oh wait, there's all kinds of new shit. Damn it, we dropped the ball.
So what is this?
So this is a thing that
We are
came in and
99%
pitched.
confident that it is bullshit.
I knew it was bullshit before.
Leave met the
The people that developed this.
the people that develop. Why does that change when I go to the top? This is a CSS fail.
Why is the rate of
Essence of encryption. Streamwave quantum resistant
why is
encryption.
it nothing but
Oh, what was that thing that they
Buzzwords.
premiered at Black Hat that got booed? What was
same
that?
same guy.
Time AI. It was Time
Time
AI.
AI.
oh god.
Have you guys seen the Time AI video?
That's a pretty.
This is the guy that did what?
I don't think it's the same person.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't-
Oh, they
It's
got
same
like
kind.
laughed out of Black Hat.
It's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I thought I just pulled it up.
No, this is Gizmodo.
This is the other thing.
Third one down. Oh, second one down too. Yeah.
This is gonna be great. I need popcorn.
You are unlike any other. A beautifully unique human being with integral patterns. Patterns that become data. Data that mirrors who you are, making its ownership and privacy essential to your individuality. In addition to all of your transactions, messages, and financial account data, today your private in-home interactions, geolocation, and even your own DNA are protected only by a single static encryption algorithm, now recognized by the world's experts as obsolete. The Fibonacci sequence repeats every 24 cycles when viewed using digital root analysis, a pattern that can be represented with an icosatetragon spiral. By positioning integers in 24 positions for every 360 degrees, Crown Sterling solved one of the greatest mathematical mysteries of all time, identifying for the first time an infinitely predictable prime number pattern. These patterns also revealed an entirely new classification of non-prime numbers called quasi-primes, as well as a new understanding of how mathematical constants interact with primes and quasi-primes to propagate and mirror reflect in infinite wave conjugations. Back in
They were serious with that? Oh my
They're
God.
dead serious, and
They're trying really hard to be serious.
This is like the 23rd century digital version of drawing hexagons on the floor. Like, not different. It's the same bullshit, just flashier.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Cyberpunk astrology.
Wait, what was the
That's really
what was the disclaimer on the under the video?
This is for entertainment purposes only.
This product.
I don't know. Comments are off. Aw. Wonder why comments are off. And all the blog posts are from last year, January-ish.
They're also all uncategorized.
Oh,
This
you're
guy,
right.
this company called me because they're in Colorado, I think. And this guy was looking for funding. And he's developed, what was the term he used?
Semiotics?
Symbiotic. Oh my God.
What?
No, it wasn't symbiotics. It was something like that, but it wasn't symbiotic.
Yeah.
Semiotics.
Oh, yes.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said symbiotics.
No.
So, anyways, and he basically was saying all the stuff that this thing that they developed could do, and one of them was upscale,
Like low-res video.
and how that was going. They're going to use it for satellite imaging and all this kind of stuff. I mean, basically, anything you could think of, this thing could do. It could write.
It could write itself.
It could write its own code.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's what they say.
And
here.
yet they have. I get an error stating alert unexpected issue. Brain number 1 gate 80x. Like, why can't your program write this better?
Sometimes I see vertical lines around there.
Not supported on all versions of Mac OS operating system.
That's been out there for.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is just.
This only thing only ran on a Mac for a while.
The Phantom. Oh gosh.
Actively hardware like your machine's GPUs to achieve these effects, and most Macs will engage the fans when the chips go over a certain temperature.
Don't be worried about the Macs that don't engage the fans.
Yeah,
But I mean, are people actually using this thing to try to do stuff? Like, I don't get it.
When I
I mean,
click
the
the amber
most
wand or
recent
blue
I
question-
scene
just
icon.
purchased a new iPad for Xmas. It will have OS X 11.0.
They use ML to generate their FAQ.
I mean, seriously, it doesn't. It will have OS 10.11.0, which doesn't exist. Mac OS 10.11 exists, and it's old. What the hell? Yeah, this is just even the FAQ is bullshit. Why can't I resize the app window?
Well, it's an
A known
iPad.
bug.
It doesn't have OS X at all. Not a Mac. It's an iPad.
With this error message, you can hit the "I am done with this message" pop up.
It is iOS.
Yeah, actually, it's iPad OS now.
Whatever.
I think you can still run iOS on it. It's just going to be an older version.
Yeah, like iOS 12.
And what
Those
was
are
it?
normally-
They've added some more products out here.
Umbra Chameleon.
Chameleon was always out there.
Oh. The hell is like a.
Oh gosh.
I somehow think it's not coming anytime soon.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, this
skeptical.
thing could write it. I mean, basically, you could tell it to do something and it would write its own code.
Transform source code from one
yeah.
language to another.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It could translate any code from one language to another.
Arigato.
This is the NVIDIA thing going on over there.
That's their chameleon.
Oh. Can't see it. Oh, because it's a chameleon.
Translate brainfuck into R.
It you transcode brain fuck into fuck fuck.
That's easy. That's regex.
Stylus. This is gotta be the like one screen of jQuery. Oh God.
I would not. That could very well be jQuery source code, just the minified version with syntax highlighting.
Look for dollar signs. I need a dollar sign. Just one dollar sign. It's definitely JavaScript. Slice G. This definitely JavaScript.
Push stack, slice.
Object prototype. Object
Object prototype toString. Oh my gosh.
I think the dollar sign is all at the beginning.
Well, they're in business enough to keep their website up.
You don't have to be in business to keep a website.
They got kicked out of their wherever property they're renting, and they didn't get a chance to take their server.
Of an MLM.
I mean,
No,
except for they're not selling anybody on
I
it.
think what they're trying to do is they're trying to find people that they sell this story of, like, put a
Suckers.
bunch
They're
of
trying to find
techno garbage together and get some sucker to give them 10,000, because they want to be to get like not donate, like $10,000 to $20,000.
Yeah, but if you get like the right person with the right amount of money, like that one guy from China, did you see the interview with Elon Musk and the Chinese billionaire?
Mm-mm.
One more.
No, give me 30 seconds.
Okay, all right. Oh shit!
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
pretty
is
late
gonna be
now.
good. Wait, it's gonna break.
I thought it breaks at like midnight.
I mean, it might break in multiple places.
Is center.am and PM?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. It is PM.
And I think we have yet one more minute before we actually see
Yeah.
it, right?
Do we? Oh.
Yeah, because the
2 more minutes, right?
minutes
Yeah.
59 is
Oh,
going
yeah,
to turn
now.
light orange or dark orange, whatever.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just looks so good.
55, 54.
You should replace that dot with something more interesting.
Yeah. Still makes me sad.
This has evolved over time. I haven't seen the dot going around.
Yeah, that's
That's
just
new
today.
Oh.
Yep. And the back.
Last week we did that. We call it the revert. Where it just reverses around the clock.
You should make that for put out on for your iWatch. People
That's what every single person that sees this says. That'd be a good Apple Watch face.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
Why?
They don't let
They
you
don't
make
let
custom
you.
faces.
Oh, you can make it. You can make it.
I could
with
put it
the
on my
Iconics.
Galaxy Watch.
Do it.
Yeah, or the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah. You may do that. I will wish you luck in your Java endeavors.
JavaScript.
No,
think-
Java.
I think the
Ooh.
I
Okay.
Yeah.
think the watches
All right.
are Java.
Don't miss
All right. Ready?
Here.
Here's the time. Fuck yeah.
And shatter.
So, I did that first part right.
Yeah, it did. But it totally broke. It didn't do the extra tick mark on the
Yeah,
hour.
now, let's see, because even the thing on the outside stopped. So like,
Yeah. Oh,
The
did
circle
we just... Did we throw an error? Ooh. Oh,
minutes.
birth minutes is not defined. Hold the phone.
That's easy to fix.
Yeah,
If only we would have seen this last time.
I know. Birthed minutes. What is it actually called?
I think we just deleted minutes.
What?
But that also probably means that on its own is doing it for minutes and also for seconds.
Yeah, that's right. So we just need to get rid of it. Well, good bug. No, that's not what I wanted. Find. V. Nope, there's no minutes. I hate that
The
fucking
interpreter
function
didn't.
name.
We could rename it.
I'm
That was the best function name available at the time.
And then we had what, like 3 nested functions called different variants of.
No, only 2. There's and there's.
But then we had there was another.
Yeah, there was
This
minutes.
is gonna make great
Minutes.
streaming audio right here.
Minutes.
His noises.
He was the one that made the noise that made us name it. Like,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was Kirk's contribution.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do this. YouTube, and it's Elon Musk, billionaire, stupid, basically. Interview Chinese billionaire. There it is.
Recorded symbols besides KP.
Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, AI. I hate the word AI called artificial intelligence. I call it Alibaba intelligence.
Yeah. Might end up being true. You never know.
Just
not getting any information out, basically, with speech.
Yeah, I'm always amazed by what your vision about the technology. I'm not a tech guy. I think more about life. I think AI is going to open a new chapter of the society, of the world, that people try to understand ourselves better rather than the outside world. And it's so difficult to predict the future. 99.99% of the predictions that human being had in the history about the future, all wrong.
Including that one?
Oh yeah. Only, the 0.00% of the prediction are right. They're right because by accident.
Yeah, but it's also true that 80% of statistics are false.
Yeah. So my meaning is
Cold
that
room. Come on, guys. That was a joke.
I'm happy about the people worry a lot about this today are those people I call them called college smartness. People like us, street smart, we never scared of that. We think it's a great fun and we want to change ourselves to embrace it.
I don't know, man. That's like famous last words. Let me tell you, like you couldn't evolve silicon circuits. There needed to be a biology to get there.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about something fun. What do you think about that?
This guy is a billionaire, like, by sheer chance. Mm-hmm. That's the guy they needed to accidentally sit down with and get a few $1 million off of.
Right.
Why is he sitting with Elon Musk? Because they are worth the same amount of money. Mm-hmm. But he's not a smart man.
87% of statistics made up on the spot are between 70 and 90%.
Percent what? There's just
So-
no label on that value.
You have to stay up till midnight and see if it breaks now.
I stay up at midnight every damn night.
But you have to be watching the clock.
Isn't that in the job description here for everyone?
Yeah.
I'm hourly. I'll do it.
All right.
As long as Brendan's paying you.
I'm ready to call it.
Yeah.
Y'all should eat more pizza though.
It's a little bit later when you should
I
go.
had 4 pieces, bro.
We were talking about last night. We were on Twitch till like 11.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
I need my jacket and my backpack.